England. And for England, there were many types of people, but they were all British. I can't keep going. Hello, everybody. Hello, I have been waiting so long to play this game with you guys. Hello, Dana. Hello, Bowser. Hello, Randy. Hello, Captain Monkey. Hello, Arcade. Hello, Fedor. Hello, me. The stupid music. Stupid music. Hello, Beep. Hello, Randy. Hello, Celestial. Hello, Mystery. Hello, Kiyoma. Hello. Ivy. Hello, Earhead. There's a lot of people you don't recognize. The good old British Phoenix Wright. It brings all of us together. Every day we look up into the sky and we see Union Jack flapping above us, watching us and representing the Queen. Okay, shut up, music. Oh, fish and chips in it. You know, since we last streamed this game, my British accent has gotten way better. I no longer sound like this when I'm doing British. Yeah, I'm actually a reasonably good, I'm actually reasonably good at accents now. And Gregson, I still don't do Gregson's accent. Gregson still is like half British, half Italian. Man, I'm Gregson, see? For some reason, he's from New York. I'm super excited to play this. You guys excited to play this as I am? Oh my goodness. I haven't streamed from my HDMI cable for a long time. The light's on, what the frick? So we're gonna start with about 10 minutes of technical difficulties. All right. Anyway, yeah, thanks so much for joining me. I know there's some new people who joined my stream before after I streamed the previous one, but they know the game, and, you know, apparently everyone loves this game. So, yeah. I vaguely remember the first case, and... Okay, well, we're gonna have to do a recap. Okay, anyway... let me just get the audio for you guys. Properties. Digital I think this is it. All right, here we go. You guys hear that? All right. Previously on the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Ryunosuke was a Japanese foreign exchange student who started out in humble beginnings in Japan, being accused of murder, of killing a man known as John Wilson, who was a foreign exchange professor. You see, he was actually murdered by a very, very, very beautiful lady named Jezile Brett, who I am in love with, but she attempted to pin the murder on him. Oh, by the way, spoilers for those who haven't played the first game. Hey, how's it going? Oh, thank you, man. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. PSN is down. Man, does PSN make you pay for internet? I think it does, right? The second game is super insane. I'm looking forward to it. After reclaiming his innocence, he found out that his buddy, Kazuma Asogi, I think it was. I don't even remember the name of my best friend. Kazuma Asogi was off to the UK to study law. And so, One day, alone in their room, Kazuma walked up to Ryunosuke Naruhodo and said, "Hey, Ryunosuke, you want to go to England with me?" Ryunosuke responded, "Hell yeah, buddy!" And so they went off to England. On the ship, Kazuma died. That's pretty much the story here. Upon reaching Britain, now without one friend. You remember making Mana cry with a donation? I've gotten better at not crying because I am a big, strong man. Thank you very much. I swear, if you donate more than $5, I'll probably cry. To be honest. Yeah, don't make me cry. You don't want to see me cry. Upon reaching Britain, he met with a man named... I don't remember his first name. I'm just going to call him Strongheart. And Strongheart was very British because he lived inside a clock. He told Ryunosuke Naruhodo to defend a man's lucky charms. And thus, he met with a very short Irishman. I don't even remember his name. He's after me lucky charms. What's his name? Frick, what's his name? I don't even remember. Male Strongheart. McGilded. And McGilded was a businessman who was trying to get away with murder, but we didn't actually know that at the time. And in the process, we met Miss Gina Lestrade, who is the best character, by the way. Oh, she's now in jail. Oh, yeah. Anyway, we met with Miss Gina Lestrade, who kept stealing from us. And we became friends with her because she pointed a gun at us. That's the entire story. Why? We have to choose our friends better, okay? Upon finding lodgings in a detective's home, who will not be named because he is taboo, we met with a lovely little girl named Iris. And how did this one even go? All I remember was Waga High. All I remember was Waga High, the cat. We met with soon-to-be famous writer Soseki Natsume. And Soseki Natsume was accused of murdering a random woman out on the street. When in reality, it was a very large Karen upstairs who murdered. This game is so weird. What the frick? Several months later, a somewhat 50% competent detective, who will not be named, went to deposit something to a safe box. The man who was running the safe box was killed by a plate of Eggs Benedict. What is this game? What is this game? And thus, we demonstrated that the man named Eggs Benedict ended up being the murderer of another man named McGilded. And while we proved that Gina Lestrade, who was accused of that murder, was innocent, we also revealed government secrets, and now I think we're banned from practicing law. Yeah, so life kind of sucks for us. But the Skulkin brothers are going through rehab. So maybe we'll meet them again. Maybe they'll be on the up and up. Anyway. we continue our journey with Ryunosuke Naruhodo in the great empire. Is it an empire? The great country of England. Also, Susato was sent away to Japan. Yes, she was sent. Oh, Susato. I didn't even mention Susato. Susato is our lovely judicial assistant. She was the best. She was the freaking best. She's second only to Iris and Gina. Iris and Gina are functionally one person. The game looks old. It kind of is old. I think it came out in 2018 on the DS. I do remember the names on the hit list. There was Kazuma and there was Asian. Asian. Oh, hey!
Standing here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean. Those days in London seem like a dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital. You know, he's flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer.
Oh, my boy!
I've no
My
doubt
incredibly
that at this
incompetent
very moment,
boy.
He's fighting some noble cause in court. Forgive me for taking so long to come to visit you.
Is that her
My
dad?
life has been such a whirlwind.
Right, her dad was
since I
sick when
returned,
she was sent back.
and no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after arriving home.
I find myself faced with another awful crime. No! No!
So I came here today to ask something of you. Tomorrow, I shall be standing in court.
No, my love!
For the only time in my life. As a lawyer.
No!
So please, I ask for your guidance. Kazuma-sama.
Wait, that was Kazuma's grave. If my neighbors could hear me, oh, they're listening in. The blossoming attorney. Oh, she's going in as a lawyer. Wait, she said she was going in as a lawyer. Wait, what? I need a reminder of this system. Okay, so history. Why? For the only time in my life as a lawyer. What year is this? 1850? That's illegal. I'm pretty sure this is illegal. I'm like 90% sure this is illegal. There are some places in japan, even to this day, women aren't allowed to go to. I'm pretty sure the legal system was completely restricted from women. You have no idea what's going on? It's okay. I don't either, and I played the first game. Oh god, I have to remember all their voices. Frick. Okay, I think the Japanese judge was just my normal judge voice. I think all the judges have the same voice. Susato? Okay, I know Susato's voice. Wait, does that mean there's going to be no Iris? Ooh. Hello, Runo! I'm a gremlin! 13th of August, 8:26 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendant's Antechamber, number 3. This is Susato's blue text. Does Susato talk her blue text out loud like Naruhodo does? She has thrown... She has indeed beaten up Naruhodo a lot. All the judges are a single hive mind. Here I am, Again, after 9 months, the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. That is the I mean, the signs of a protagonist are empty-headed and stupid. That's pretty much all you need. I feel so nervous, but I must steel my nerves and find a way to compose myself. It's Dad! How's it going, Dad? I remember he had a kind of Japanese accent. He was a little bit lower. He was a man. Unlike Ryunosuke.
Ah, good. You're here. It doesn't do good for a lawyer to be late.
Oh, yes, good morning, sir.
I hardly recognize you. You cut a fine figure, Counsel.
Shirt.
But you look as white as a sheet. And those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either.
Oh, dear. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous. I feel utterly nauseated. I almost wish that I'd ever been born.
Oh, goodness. Not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say. Introduce me. Introduce me to the people on the other side of the screen. Do it!
Yes, Dad. Yujin Mikotoba, professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. A man who, earlier in his life, traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science. And of course, my brilliant father. Excuse me? Oh! Oh, this is going to be such a good game. Oh my. Hello, my. I don't know who you are. I mean, she low-key fought. Ain't nothing low-key about that, if you know what I'm saying. Would I be correct in thinking that you're my lawyer in court today? Huh? Oh, yes. Yes, that's right. Miss. Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me. I swear on my life. It's a complete fabrication. This whole thing. They member me. I hate this game. I hate this game. Frickin' game! Ah! Worst frickin' pun yet. Oh my god. Remember me. It's so bad. It's so freaking bad. Remember me. Born the same year as I, and my greatest friend. Oh, they're friends. I hate you all. Though unusual for a woman on our time, she works at the University Research Laboratory, helping my father. I love how... Okay, I'm just gonna remind you functionally what this means, okay? It was quite literally illegal for women to think. That is not a joke. They were not allowed to go to higher education. So she's literally saying, oh, she's weird. She goes to school. Let's not forget a certain minister. This woman uses her brain? Oh, she's got to go to jail. And sadly, She's the defendant in today's trial, accused of committing a truly awful murder. Are you feeling all right? Since we started talking, you seem to become a little flushed. Oh, it's... Oh my god. Oh my god. The Wattpad writers are going crazy. Oh. Oh, look out. Tumblr's firing up their engine. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, the fan artists are gonna have a field day. So gallant and dashing. Sorry. And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful. Susato is internally thinking, oh hell yeah. Goodness, I don't think she knows. She hasn't realized who I am. Oh, don't worry, Susato. She knows exactly who you are.
It would seem our little plan for this trial is going to work.
Oh, what do you mean, Professor Mikotoba? This is a time skip? How long has this it been? It's only been like 6 months, so she might be 17, right? Maybe? I don't know.
Even your best friend can't see through your disguise. I think we can relax.
Oh, 9 months. Disguise? Yes, I've never tried dressing this way before. Of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father. Father? Oh my girl's about to go in a spiral. I can't love my best friend! Ah! Is that you? Susato? No, what are you doing? What's going on? Why didn't you dress like this sooner? Haven't I always asked you to do that? I can't. The fan fiction's going crazy. That varsity uniform, that varsity cap, the varsity cape, that varsity badge. Look at you. You look for all the world just like a student of the Imperial Yume University. Male student. Not that I mind, Susato. I'm so glad you think so. It means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke up at 4 in the morning to make a start. What the hell does Susato look like? I don't know, but like a very beautiful man. Like a K-pop star. That's what she... But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that? Well, you see...
It was the only way. The only way she would be permitted into the Supreme Court to take your defense in this trial.
My defense? Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body. Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot in the courtroom, despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike. Okay, so just to give you guys a little bit of clarity, at this time, law enforcement, including like legal systems and all that, a lot of it was grouped into like military. And so at the time, it wasn't just considered, oh, okay, well, this is just enforcing the laws, right? It's all like military stuff, right? So, you know, when Ryunosuke is wearing his, you know, his uniform, right? He's wearing his uniform, you know, his black shirt and stuff like that. People, one of the main reasons people went to school is to join the military. So one of the reasons why a lot of women didn't go to school is because they weren't going to join the military. Or if you look at, you know, current day school uniforms, for example, what type of uniforms do girls often wear when they go to school? Well, the stereotype is a sailor uniform. And that was not a coincidence. It's the, you know, nowadays the sailor uniform is considered cute and girly. But back then they wore the sailor uniform because when women would go to school, they would prepare to join the military to be, you know, nurses on like boats for sailing and stuff like that. So a little bit of context for you guys. Literally everything was centered around the military, and that's why very often men went onto certain roles, because men were functionally the ones running the military. But women are forbidden. Also called a seifuku? What is a seifuku? I don't actually know. And let's look it up, because I'm smart. Seifuku. Oh! I see. Seifuku. Okay, right. You mean the uniform. Yes, the uniform. Fuku means clothes. Just for today, I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door, so that I can act as your lawyer. Oh. Look at me. Look. Oh, Susato. You'd go to such lengths for me? What's your look identical to Ryunosuke? We'll see. Of course. You're my greatest friend. I just worry I shan't be the lawyer you deserve. No, I have complete faith in you. Ray. It's so strange, though. I mean, you're already such an accomplished judicial assistant, and yet, just because you're a woman, what a wretched reason! I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in court? You're so hot! You should be allowed in court! I love this game. This is such a good game. Ray? Please don't look at me like that with those flushed cheeks and doting eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just you really do look so dashed. Yes, you mentioned that like 7 times.
I'm gonna keep this as a record for when they invent Wattpad.
I'm pleased, I think. It certainly helped bolster my confidence today. It's 19th century Yuri. Ace Attorney knows. They know exactly what they're doing. They know their fan base. Ray, you're managing to put on a brave face in all this, but I can see through it. I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped, how you're trembling ever so slightly. Let's not die before we enter the courtroom. We generally do that. Susato? You do believe me, don't you? I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder? Susato's father is waiting for them. He's got an old-timey camera. I'm ready.
You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. Isn't that right? Yes. Yes, it is. Perfectly clean. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence. Which is why I'll stand by you till the bitter end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll always be by your side. Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer. That means so much to me, Susato.
Oh, I defended! Counsel! Enough of this 19th century Yuri! Wait, they're not British.
Hey, defense counsel! Court about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. You should go in at once, Ray. If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty.
Oh.
Stand aside! I don't think I've seen her run so fast. No, simp.
Well, Susato, you've certainly surprised your father. Going to such lengths to be admitted in the courtroom, with no prior experience of being a lawyer.
There was simply no other way.
That's all there is to it. Why didn't she get an actual lawyer? Like, no offense to Susato, but why didn't she get an actual lawyer? Oh, I know why. It's because of diplomatic immunity, isn't it? Oh, frick. If you guys remember last time... Oh, wait, so we know that the victim, at the very beginning, the victim was actually the murderer of the very first case last game. And she essentially escaped any punishment because she's a foreign exchange student from Britain. And so she has some level of diplomatic immunity. And that's probably why no lawyers are getting involved. Which makes a lot of sense, actually.
But, Father, you haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming that Ray doesn't know how it came to this?
Yes, quite right. I kept that information from her. It would only worry her if she found out that no other lawyer would agree to take her case. Maybe the streamer should have waited 5 seconds for me to explain it instead of making a speculation.
I'm sorry, Professor.
I didn't want to burden her with that.
And is it true?
The reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case? You mean the thing that the streamer speculated, but maybe he should have just been a little bit patient? I'm sorry, Susato!
Is it really because of who the victim was?
We should make a move now. As you know, law isn't my field, but I can do what I can to support my student.
Right, functionally, her dad is like a top notch of the police. He's a medical examiner. So he does like autopsies and stuff, I guess? I'm not sure.
I'm Susato Toba, a judicial assistant. 8 months ago, I accompanied a very, very, very stupid student of law on a study trip to Great Britain. But 2 months ago...
Wait a second! I thought her dad was sick! Wait, hold on. Oh, what the... Wait, is Daddykins perfectly fine? He got better?
Yes, it was a 3-day cold.
Father, you made me travel 50 days overseas for a 3-day cold.
It was a bad cold.
How many times have I wished that he were here? I wonder. Still, I have no choice but to steel myself for the trial ahead.
And it was 4 days.
Wish me luck. Naruhodo-san.
13th of August. Dang, they start at 9 a.m.? Dang, they starting early. Supreme Court of Judicature. Courtroom number 1. Oh no, I see the prosecutor. Oh no. I'm gonna need water. I'll be right back. I'm gonna need a lot of water. If I remember, I didn't give this guy too strong of an accent.
This court is now in session to hear the trial of Remember Me.
Oh no.
The prosecution is fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency!
Hey, Ouchie, how's it going? I can see your hair's growing back. Oh my! Look at her! She's so cool!
Defense counsel, are you ready? Yes, Your Excellency. We are ready.
Would it be a case number 1 without some pain, huh? Ready?
Yes, counsel. According to your registration details, your name is Ryutaro Naruho.
There's no way. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that's Winston Spade's like ancestor. She used the Ryutaro. Sorry. I mean,
Sorry? I'm a man.
Hey, Slippery. Yeah, that's Winston Payne's ancestors.
Yes. I had to come up with a suitable male name for you on this little adventure.
Could it have been like Ryutaro Mikotoba? That would be easy. Oh, I guess he couldn't do that because then it would be related to him as a Mikotoba.
So I'm afraid I had to say I simply put down the first name that sprung to mind. Well, counsel.
Yes, that's right. That's me. Yes, I'm Ryutaro. He who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan. This isn't working.
What do you think, ladies? Do I do a good job being a girl, being a guy?
It seems Ryutaro may need to consider how better to uphold his manly act first, and not overdo it.
Yeah, no problem. Believe it.
And those wild eyes aren't doing you any favors. Just relax and listen.
We're doing great. We're doing great. Don't worry. It's just Mulan.
Naruhodo? A fresh
faceless courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. But the name Naruhodo, would that perchance be?
You may be thinking of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain as part of a study program. This is
His cousin.
That's right. Ryutaro has been studying in the provinces, but was called to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in matters of the law, knowledge rivals that of any Tokyo's preeminent lawyer.
Any of them?
Tut, tut, tut. What a pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused had to call in a country boy, y'all!
How dare you! Susato has ever been established in catching and you're Tokyo attorneys! I will have you making fun of her! Please be careful, Ray.
What an unrefined tomboy we have here. She goes to school and she thinks and she has idea. But I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge?
You're lucky. I know, right? Ouchie's never been really that smart, though.
And she has pronouns. His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest he's not.
That's a nice lamp. Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through.
Meanwhile, Naruhodo in court. Who's the defendant again?
Like it or not, my eyes are wont to flint.
This case will be heard on this day as a matter of great significance of our national interests.
He is very similar to, or she is very similar to, Naruhodo right now.
In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may very well affect the future of our empire.
Just like the trial 9 months ago. And yet, for proceedings of such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock. Dear me.
Perhaps it will be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense, to determine whether or not you are sufficiently competent to practice this in this courtroom. 9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you are standing now, this same judge tested him as well. He was very dumb. And even though he was just a student at the time, and not even of...
Wasn't he like a student of literature? Ouchie's voice is super itchy.
He passed the test with flying
Not with flying colors. Hey, Nana.
For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this will be easy. So, counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions?
I don't know why, but the artist did such a good job with this picture. This kind of looks like exactly how a 16-year-old girl would try to pretend to be manly. She is a Naruhodo, so she can be stupid too.
Yes, Your Excellency. But please do make them simple.
Very well. To start with, You will state the name of the victim.
Oh, that's simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried.
Q. Oh, look, they even have, look, her name isn't even Susato, it's actually Ryutaro with the text box.
What's the matter? Don't tell me. You've caught the Naruhodo.
Now I'm standing in his shoes. I'm starting to understand what it feels like to be a Naruhodo. Like it or not, minds are wont to blank. Naruhodo minds. So we learned that many, many years later, Phoenix inherited the exact same problem.
It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in the position, and in that guise.
Can we send an innocent to jail? As long as it's not Ray, sure.
Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter a little under the circumstance.
Oh, dear. This is a dismal failure.
Do not fret. You only need to use the knowledge you've gained as the judicial assistant to overcome a problem.
Of course! The court record! Which button do I have to press, Father?
Yes. The answer will be among the key information. That's right. Just use R button.
R button.
Then you will flip to people section with R.
We can use a ray of such. Get out. Get out. Alright. R. R. Post-mortem report. Well, we know the victim is Jessile Brett. Female. British. Beautiful. I'm sorry, Jessile Brett. I'm sorry I couldn't pet your swan. 11th of August. That was 2 days ago. 2 p.m. Ascertained by examinations and witness statements. I will say, for those of you who are new to my style of detective game, for those of you who haven't watched me play Danganronpa or Phoenix Wright or anything else, I go through incredible amounts of speculation and then bring them all together. So you may get frustrated every once in a while. I'll go like, but what if we are on Mars and we lost oxygen? So you will get frustrated, but just a what do you call just a testimony, a testament to my method. I have solved every single Danganronpa case before I got to the trial. So, as a testimony to my method worked. It's been a while since you've raged at me. And Raincode. I even solved all the Raincode things. Cause of death. A single deep stab wound from behind, piercing a lung. So obviously she was stabbed with the pen that she was holding. That's a possibility. I'm keeping that in the back of my head. Resulting in a fatal hemorrhage. Death would have occurred within minutes. All right, so she bled out. Stab wound, piercing a lung, resulting in a fatal hemorrhage. So she, if it's lung area, she probably hit a lot of, like, you know, maybe arteries or whatever those. What are they called? Arteries? The big things that are coming out of the heart. I don't know. Extreme meiosis, pupil constriction was observed. So she was poisoned. Like, pupil constriction doesn't occur when you're bleeding out, right? Like, if pupil constriction, what is pupil constriction? I think that happens when you don't have air, right? So maybe she was also suffocated? Okay, so it definitely wasn't the stabbing that caused her. Oh, no, not necessarily true. So what this tells me is that if she was stabbing could have been a factor in killing her, but it was not the only factor. Maybe she was suffocated. I don't know if suffocation, but suffocation causes, like, your part also causes your head to not have blood, right? which means, would that cause pupil constriction? I don't know. Another possibility, no, it's extreme pupil constriction. So I was thinking maybe it was like really, really bright, but no, it wouldn't cause that much pupil constriction. So I'm thinking either like some sort of chemical, or maybe she lost like oxygen to her brain or her eyes or something. I don't know. She was stabbed around the lung. Yeah, so that wouldn't have done any major problems. So yeah, so I'm thinking there were multiple things at play besides just the stabbing, right? The immediate ones that come to mind are either suffocation or strike 9. That's just my stupid way of saying poison. I don't think strike 9 actually does pupil constriction. Anyway, people. I'm sorry, Miss Jezile. You deserved so much better.
I'm waiting, counsel. What is the name of the victim in this case?
I could say ouchie. Well, I don't know who the victim is. I know who it's gonna be. It's Taketsuchi Ouchie. Get out! I don't know who it is, but I can tell you who the victim's gonna be.
Dang! He's sassy!
Why the sudden triumph? Yes! Are you threatening to kill me?
He seems angry.
And you're surprised? Did you consult the cult record? You must look through it carefully.
I did. Of course, I looked at everyone on the file. And I chose the person whose featured appeared to be the most deadly. I love this game.
I must say, this most unusual methodology of yours leaves me almost speechless. It occurs to me with renewed certainty that reading information carefully is vitally important.
Have a way to find a murderer with that one. You don't strike into the out. Get out with their stupid puns.
I strongly recommend it.
Oh dear, I simply can't ignore that imploring look. Your Excellency, please allow me to amend my answer.
Very well. I will excuse this incorrect response given your wide-eyed state of panic.
Sorry, Father. You must die. No, I'll answer honestly.
Yes!
That's what she sounds like? Yes! The name of the victim who lost her life in the case is Miss Jezile Brett. If somebody remind me, Jezile Brett's name is a pun on Jezile Bullet, which is the type of bullet that killed Watson in the Sholmes novels, I believe. Just send the murderers to Twitter. Oh man, you don't even know, man. The fan fiction writers are already having a field day with this case. Jezile Brett.
A name that will never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country, I'm sure. Correct, sir. And being a member of our empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name. So, let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student of the great empire, from the Empire of Great Britain. Why then Is her name indelibly?
I don't actually know that. Are a bunch of Japanese people about to teach me English vocabulary? Indelibly. Indelibly? Indelibly. Indelible. Making marks that cannot be removed. Indelible. 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 Huh. I learned vocabulary today. Indelible. From the adjective indelible. See, that doesn't help because I don't know that. I didn't know that word either.
Obviously, you won't have forgotten that case from 9 months ago.
You had it the second time? Indelible? Indelible? Indiabla?
Indiabla! Indiabla! But if it's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record.
Obviously, I still remember. Shorty, okay, thank you. You don't remember where you were 9 months ago. You know, that's a fair point. Similar to inedible. Thank you. Hey, how's it going, Vivi? Jezile Brett. Behind the woman's student persona was the face of a... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Queen Victoria, obviously.
Can we just call her guilty and be done with it? Obviously not!
The Queen of England!
I thought that sounded a little odd.
I don't know you. We are not related. I'm sure you know all the details of the case from 9 months ago.
Oh, yeah, how can I forget? I know every last detail.
Then what on earth was that absurd answer you gave? No more absurdity, please. You will amend your answer.
Yes, of course, Your Excellency. Did they both have to call my answer absurd? Oh, Susato doesn't deserve this. I deserve this. I'm the one making her stupid. The face of a killer.
Yes!
Can we acknowledge the fact that Susato's desk slam is way more manly than Naruhodo's desk slam? Naruhodo's desk slam when he first started was a wet slap. It was like... 9 months ago, a visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed. And the culprit was... Jezile Brett. She's more confident? Fair.
Yes, she was a killer. At the time, our country had just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain. It was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred,
And Iris lost her father. We don't know that for sure. We don't know that for sure, but we're like 90% sure that... Oh, little Iris doesn't deserve that.
An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor Mikotoba.
I know, Iris doesn't even know. It's so sad.
Yes, I was indebted to the man. He had been my mentor from when I went to London to study forensic medicine. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a...
Oh god, he must feel so guilty too. Then again, if you think about it, you know, at the very end of the first game, we discovered this entire government conspiracy with like an assassination hit list. Wilson was on the list. Gregson was on the list. Tobias Gregson. Greguson was on the list. Who else? Kazuma was on the list, and he died too. And who was the last one? Asian. So it's like, we have this entire government conspiracy. John Wilson is dead. Oh no, Gregson. Oh no. Alright, so John Wilson is dead. Kazuma's dead. Gregson is in danger. So it's like, and we have this situation where we have an English woman, well, English girl, she's not a woman, she's 25, she's a girl. So, yeah, we have this English woman who is, came to Japan to kill another English man, right? So this is probably her hit list. Oh, that might mean Tobias Gregson is safe. That might mean Gregson is safe. But yeah, she came. So it's like, and then now she has diplomatic immunity. If you think about it, this is the best possible way to assassinate an English person and feel no consequences. Send both of them over to Japan, then kill them. Then you're not under the jurisdiction of the British Empire, but in the Japanese Empire, you have diplomatic immunity. That's like a really good way to kill someone. It's like, even if you get caught, there's nothing anyone can do. Yeah, Gregson was super freaking out about that too.
Naturally, the murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter the government wished to resolve as rapidly as possible.
Sorry about this. Give me a moment. Oh, so sorry. I needed to just quickly do something on my computer so that the stream wouldn't freeze on my end. Frick. Give me a moment. Reopen, close tab. There we go. All right. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, the game is super good.
Indeed it was. Oh, indeed it was. Which is why a secret trial was conducted here at the Supreme Court. An Imperial student of Imperial Yume University was arrested after he heard a gunshot, saw a gun on the ground, and decided to pick it up because he's very smart.
God, Naruhodo, why?
A second-year English language student, but
Oh, he was studying English. Oh, I mean, that'll give him a big advantage in Britain, at least. Smort, hashtag Smort. Fun fact, their last name was Sashin. Sashin? Sure.
with the help of his friend, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense.
Oh, my beautiful Jezile Brett.
And exposed the despicable crime by Miss Jezile Brett.
The caption there.
Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime. However, when questioned about the motive that drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, she gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion.
Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play. We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to our empire's laws. It was decided she would be removed to Shanghai, China instead.
How much of China is being colonized by the British at this point? I mean, I know Britain essentially took Hong Kong in what, it was like 1897? This is like the 1850s, 1860s? So they were colonizing stuff, but how much was being colonized at the time? I don't know. Was Shanghai colonized by Britain at the time? I don't know. I don't know I don't know all about the entire empire of Britain at the time.
Why Shanghai?
There's a British consular court there. Correct. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon only last week.
I know Italy had a colony in China. A lot of people had colonies in Eastern Asia at the time.
The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon only last week. All that remained of our empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board a steamship.
And yet, the very day before her departure, the English woman was killed.
Only the day before?
Which means she was to be leaving yesterday. Oh yeah, thanks for watching out for the spoilers, Randy.
That will do. I'm satisfied the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of
She literally said Jezal Brett was Queen Victoria. You know, totally random for the sake of no stupid questions. It was like in my 20s that I realized that the era of history called the Victorian era was because the Queen was Victoria. So if you ever wonder why they're called Victorian dresses or this is Victorian style, it's because it was under the rule of Queen Victoria. So no stupid questions. If you didn't know that, you know it now. His name is supposed to be a pun on Ouchie, because his descendant will eventually be named Pain.
Oh. Thank you, Your Excellency. Over the first hurdle.
Now a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Ouchie!
As you wish, Your Excellency!
You prefer Asian. Yeah, Winston Payne is his eventual descendant, and this guy's name is Ouchie.
The repugnant crime took place on the 11th of August, in broad daylight. On the outskirts of the imperial capital, under a bright blue sky, at a secluded bathing spot by the sea.
Was there a Gaspin Payne in the 3D desk games? Was what's his name? Was he in the Apollo Justice game? Because that was the one I played. And then if not, I haven't run into Gaspin Payne yet.
The incident occurred inside a small beach hut, erected for bathers to rest or change their clothes.
He wasn't? Okay. So I haven't run into him yet.
The cause of death was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung. An injury that proved fatal.
I played Dual Destinies. No, I've only played Apollo Justice. I think Dual Destinies comes after, maybe? I don't remember.
There were two persons alone together in the beach at the time of the victim's death. Miss Britt in her bathing attire, and the accused Ray Membami.
Can we see Miss Brett in her bathing attire? Excuse me.
Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she had a powerful motive. The police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady.
You like Ray? I do like Ray too. She's very sweet.
Well, that extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I say.
That's certainly true.
The prosecution... I love how when she's thinking, she's also Ryutaro. Was full of words that raise an awful lot of questions. Was full of words. Period. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution's counsel on what he said. Tell me a little bit more about the bathing spot.
If I may, Prosecutor Ouchie.
What do you want, you fresh-faced young yokel student?
Dang. Give my boy some slack.
Could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot.
Ha! My apologies. Clearly my modernity has confused the poor country bumpkin's simple mind. Bathing spots are the very latest trend in health practices from the web.
Like taking a bath or like swimming in the ocean or...
We are told that bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skin.
No, that's not what I meant. I don't think that's true. I don't think any of that is true.
I was referring to the fact that Miss Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder. Why would a known criminal be relaxing by the sea?
That is a good point. Like, dang, they're treating her like a frickin' celebrity. It's like, that's awful. Frickin' diplomatic immunity, man.
For old time's sake, I believe.
Wait, what?
Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day. Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy our country's wonderful coast.
And you just granted it? You do know that the British know that she's a murderer, right? Yeah, no worries, Mystery. Like the British know that she's a murderer, right? Like, right. She falls under the government. She's probably under the government conspiracy. Maybe like they sent her to kill someone.
But on what grounds would we agree to such a request?
Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign power.
Oh, damn, Dad, tell him.
In matters of diplomacy, we don't even have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal.
Don't look at me, Professor! It was the government who granted permission, not I! In any case, it was decided that with a dedicated detective on duty, nothing could go wrong!
But in fact, a murder took place.
I said don't look at me! It was the student girl, not me!
No one has proved that yet!
I wouldn't provoke the man if you need not.
At this stage, I need more information. As a lawyer,
tell me about how they were alone together.
Membami-san. Oh, yes? What is, Naruhodo-san.
I'm really starting. We made my alias Ryutaro Susato. Everyone turns to look at him.
Please tell the court exactly why you were present at the bathing spot with the victim, and why you were alone with her. Oh, well, no, that's not true. It wasn't like that at all. There were other people present. A detective who was guarding Miss Brett, for starters. I was just asked to accompany Miss Brett as a companion. That's all.
But let's be clear! At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim! You and no one else! The truth is, there's only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Brett on her bathing sojourn. It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's life!
No.
Because as we know, the following day would see Miss Brett extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai! And the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again.
Kindly refrain from conjecture, counsel. That's a good objection.
The prosecution counsel seems to enjoy using their provocative tricks like that. But for now, at least, we assemble more facts. Try not to let him goad you.
Oh, dear. This is terrifying, but Father's right. We need more information. As a lawyer,
Tell me about the motive.
you're clearly exaggerating. Powerful motive is a blatant overstatement.
Tut, tut, tut. Is the yokel boy using long words that he doesn't understand?
No, that would be you guys that are watching. I mean, what?
I beg your pardon?
No matter. Let us put this to the accused, shall we? Bami-san, you are a research assistant at the Imperial Yume University, I believe.
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm working with Professor Mikotoba in his laboratory at the moment.
I can confirm that. The defense is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility.
Come on, character. Give her more. Just a little bit more character nudging.
Fascinating to hear. Now another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikotoba, whose research were you assisting the...
Oh, no. Well, she was currently undecided on her major, so she didn't actually work with any professor. Oh, well, I was studying under Dr. John H. Wilson.
The visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brett 9 months ago?
The accused has a deep-seated respect for her former mentor, Dr. Wilson. Is that not true?
Just say, he was okay.
Yes. Dr. Wilson is a wonderful man. He was the smartest person I ever know. There's no way someone like her could have killed him without dirty tricks. I should have murdered her. I will kill her.
Well, we've lost this one.
Interesting. Then tell the court your deep-seated feelings you had toward the English woman who killed it.
Oh, no, stop.
Well, obviously, I was filled for hatred with what she'd done. A powerful hatred.
Well, time to pack it up.
The motive was revenge. Plain and simple, Your Excellency.
Susato's dad looks like Charles Manakyn. I guess so, a little bit.
I believe we have a clear picture of the incident now. Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Miss Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the...
What was she even researching? What was she even doing? How did she kill the person last time? Last time... Right, she poisoned him because she took advantage of his dental work or something like that. Yeah. Wait, remember this time the thing. It could be poison. Maybe she poisoned herself so that she could escape punishment?
Obviously, over the period, she and they would have encountered each other on a number of occasions.
Seeing that the murderer of the mentor whom she had such great respect enjoying such undeserved liberty.
Yes, even if it was only temporary until Miss Brett's extradition to Shanghai. You can hardly blame Ray for her feelings of anger and resentment.
Poor Ray.
So, Your Excellency, if you'd be so kind as to peruse this exhibit. A photographic print that shows the scene of the crime, immediately following the grim incident.
Thank you, Counsel. A tragic image.
As you can clearly see, there is nowhere within the hut anyone could have
Do you see how big this hat is? Hello? Do you see the a freaking swan exists? You're telling me that nobody could have hid inside that freaking hat? No. Yeah, you could literally fit a kid in there.
The court will accept this photographic print as evidence.
Photographic scene, stab wound. Okay. Okay, we always have to look. Okay, so let's see here. There was a wine glass here. Okay, so if you guys remember last time, she poisoned Wilson using a drink and poison. I think it was a drink along with poison. She's holding a pen right here. I guess we'll never know. What? There was a second victim in this. Oh, the swan. The swan. I'm so sorry, Swan. You didn't deserve this. He was just an innocent bystander. We'll never know what her eyes look like, huh? Okay, she was laying down. That was her swan song. Get out. Oh, wait, she was laying down like this. If someone stabbed her in the back, chances are they stabbed her and then she fell forward like this. Unless it doesn't look like there's any drag marks. Wait, why are there footprints here? Oh, because right, there's this isn't a floor. This is a beach, right? So this is probably sand, right? And as we all know, the best way to figure out people's footprints is to take them from their huts and then the Danganronpa. I assume this is sand, and so she's changing in here. Someone comes in and stabs her. But this is also an inefficient way to stab her because her back is facing the wall right here, right? That's... I mean, I suppose they could have stabbed her and then they could have struggled for a while, so we can't really necessarily say that. One thing we do know, she's randomly holding this pen right here. That I feel like that is significant. You don't just randomly do that, right? You might try to write the killer's name, even though that always ends up being a red herring, right? Leon. But... Look, she has a bunch of masks inside her suitcase.
As I understand then, the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time.
9 out of 10, it's a red hair.
This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant.
Well, Your Excellency, naturally the prosecution has much more to the case. We intend to prove the accused's appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm we have multiple witnesses to the crime and damning evidence.
Witnesses? But who?
One whom, I might add, is a highly respected police detective.
Oh, I know who it is. Oh, no.
There will be no room for doubt.
Oh, no.
Bring forth your witnesses.
I, Taketsukichi Aochi, have been waiting for this moment.
Sorry?
Oh, yes. I haven't forgotten that trial 9 months ago.
He wants revenge against the Naruhodo clan.
when that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me!
That was your fault.
Ah, Ryunosuke Naruhodo!
Yo, what's up?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten!
Oh, Kazu!
You've become conceited with age, Council. But the old have to stand aside to make way for the new. Koi! It is the way of the world. May you never forget that! Witty!
Strike the hand of a samurai whose top knot has been cut, and the bell of cultural enlightenment tolls! Yes! On that fateful day, my former self died.
It's so dramatic. The start of your own mini Meiji restoration. I predicted it all the way from the title. Today's episode is the Bloke's Meiji Restoration. Are you modernizing as well, Council?
Silence! Since I swore revenge back then, there's been a minor miracle atop my head. Observe the ouchie growth!
Oh no. Oh gosh. Man, just get yourself some keeps or something. Or like Touch of Grey by Just for Men or something. He's pandering to the modern audience.
You see, the seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown!
That tiny growth is trying to tell me something. I'm afraid I can't really see it. Sorry, you're too bald.
I said silence! Today, I face another yokel student of the Naruhodo clan.
Is there a Naruhodo clan? I think it's literally just him. We've never met his parents.
Victory will be the fertilizer for the seed of hope atop my head! You have been warned. With that, the prosecution calls the witnesses to the stand!
It looks like the stakes are high on both sides of this
Okay, we're trying to save our friend here. He's trying to regrow his hair. Come on.
The prosecution and the defense each has much to lose. One may lose her life, the other, his hair.
A haircut is hardly comparable to raised life. Listen here, Susato. You don't understand the struggles of balding men. Yeah, I do know some, I do know some people say that, you know, balding is pretty devastating, but I don't think it's as devastating as, you know, dying or being executed. Yeah, barely comparable. You don't understand. Yeah, I will say, when I get to the age where I start balding, I'll probably cry. Wait, oh my, wait, what are you doing? Why are you here? Why are you here? Why is he here? Oh god, I don't even remember his voice. I remember he was very, very, very Japanese, but he randomly switches into a good English accent, if I remember correctly. Ouchie tried to sue Kazuma for the attack. That's really funny.
Witnesses, state your name and occupations for the court.
Right, this guy had a very, like, a measured accent. Like,
Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Imperial Police Bureau. I'm in disguise of...
he has a turtle on his head. How's it going, Hosonaga? We missed you.
So I can go undetected. And I am, well, next big thing in book. I am author renowned through the capital as, in fact, yes.
Soon to be sold out, the satirical I Am a Cat, sensational success by Soseki Natsume. Oh my goodness.
Struggling student from provinces. Please, you needn't be in awe of me.
I needn't?
It is only natural you feel nervous in my presence. But all of you, please relax. Call me Soseki.
I see he's enjoying his newfound fame. I see in the past 6 months he wrote a book about a cat. You don't like how his eyes look? Yeah, he's kind of silly. Yes? What on earth is Soseki-san doing here?
Tread carefully, Susato. The author fellow knows you from your time in London, doesn't he? If he exposes...
Oh, frick, they both know who Susato is. Oh, God. Oh, God. Nope. I am a very, very rugged young man.
If he exposes you for who you really are, this will be over before it's begun.
Yes, of course. I know. My name is Ryutaro, and I'm fine.
That won't be for another 200 years.
I presume Soseki won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget about him, no matter how hard I try. The freaking alliterations. Although he does seem to have changed somewhat in the 6 months or so since I last saw him. He's now famous. Can I have an autograph? As for Inspector Hosonaga, that amazing outfit is hard to believe. It's a freaking turtle. Is he like disguising himself when he like goes under the water? He's like, I'm just a turtle. I'm not here.
Do I have something on my face?
Well, your glasses, although they don't seem to be helping you see. Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either.
Ah, I suppose it is this disguise, is it?
How does this disguise help you?
I thought that appearing here in the clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony. It is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly. Well, I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present. But what business did a writer such as yourself have being at the scene, Soseki-san? Oh, you see. It'd been asked to give that day to give a lecture on the morning of the incident in Imperial Yume University Grand Lecture Hall, no less.
Yume University?
After lecture, I had very pleasant conversation with a researcher from Medical Science Department. Professor over there, in fact.
With my Professor Mikotoba?
Yes, that's right. It was arranged by one of the newspaper. Is a story, I wanted some story or other of 2 former students who study in Great Britain.
Right, Mikotoba also studied in Great Britain like 10 years ago or something like that. Many years ago. No, 16 years ago, when Susato was 0 years old. Right, Susato was just born. I think.
Of course! Being a renowned author, the press never leave me alone.
They secretly spy, snap shots, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy.
You look to be enjoying that, though.
As you can see, conversation written up in newspaper here. Read at your leisure, my provincial struggling student friend. I have plenty copy.
Oh, thank you very much. Practically threw that paper at me.
The Soseki Natsu. He seems to be enjoying his fame. Hold on, Natsume. Wait, go back. Alright, we got... Is that Wagahai? That's not Wagahai. He left Wagahai in Britain, right? With us. Who's this? Frick, my kanji's not good enough to read this. Let's see what we got here. Whoa, hold on. This is... No, that's... Oh, wait, no, never mind. It's not just kanji. I'm not sure what writing system they used back then. Did they use like the modern writing system? Because, you know, if you go way back in history, you'll only find Chinese characters. You won't find hiragana or katakana because, you know, originally their writing system was from China. So, can we flip it over? What? Also, what is he doing? What is this? Why is there a crack here? Oh, it's probably just a bad camera or something. Yeah, he's like,
And this was British karate chop!
A newspaper containing an article about the discussion between my father and Soseki. The debate became quite spirited. He did the posing thing back when we first met him. Was this like the old version of dabbing? Oh! Anyway, what did he say? Oh, frick.
Following the interview with the professor, the lady in question appeared and made very unexpected announcement.
I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast.
Those were her words. That was a very good impression. Thank you.
See you later, Mystery.
As I explained before, Miss Brett was never taken into custody. And she continued to work in my laboratory, under strict surveillance, of course.
At which utterance, the university immediately contacted the government to seek guidance. And the response was, permit Miss Brett to go as long as a detective accompanies her.
That detective, I am at liberty to divulge, was me, Chief Inspector Satoru Hosanaga.
Thereby, the entire party departed cordially for the seaside, it seems.
It was extremely challenging to clear out all the other members of the public from the vicinity of the beach.
Right. They couldn't let people know that a murderer was running free. Which is awful, if you think about it. Oh god, he still has that terrible cough. I don't know if there was an illness that caused that back then. I don't know. Like, they never explained that in the first game. He just coughs up blood sometimes.
But fortunately, I am at peak physical fitness at the moment.
Don't push yourself, buddy. Don't give in to the Japanese work culture, man. You need rest.
I was able to carry out my duty flawlessly.
Inspector, you do have something on your face now.
How unsightly. I do apologize.
Does that mean you were at the beach too, Father?
No. Fortunately, I had work to finish. But unfortunately, of course. It meant that as my assistant, Rei was invited to take my place. Of course, being a renowned author, I didn't like to decline the invitation.
Ah! But if I only had! I'd never see that awful sight!
Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret.
Oh, this will make a great piece for the paper. The Tokyo Times! Buy it, only 5 cents.
Very well. I must now ask you to present your formal testimony to the court. You will give an account of all that you have witnessed on your impromptu excursion to the coast.
Oh, poor guy.
Of course, Your Excellency.
Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret. Yeah, what was it? I think Irid pointed out. I just realized, Soseki's eyes look super glazed. I don't know what drugs he's doing, but they seem to be working.
On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment on this disguise. I just managed to catch that crab.
Wait, what?
When suddenly I hear a caterwaul from behind. I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question.
Yes. Young girl was astride English woman, dagger in hand, and she stabbed wildly.
Wait. That young girl was astride the English woman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed what the frick? Whatever drugs he's doing, I want it.
I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me she was stabbed. She stabbed the victim multiple times. Indeed, it appears from this testimony that both the witnesses here present saw it.
Come on, man. See, do I know my ace attorney or not? Oh, there were multiple stab wounds, cause of death, single stab wound. Gee, do I know my ace attorney or do I know my ace attorney? It's like what do you want me to say? Like what? I know things. I know. You can't trick me. I've been at this for a minute. Exactly 3.5 minutes. I do, right? I do. I've played this before.
Very moment of the heinous crime.
Oh, what?
Now, if you'll recall, I promised evidence as well. What phrase did I use again? Ah, that's right. Damning evidence.
What have you there, counsel? A so-called fountain pen, is it? Correct, Your Excellency. I found it at the scene of the crime while examining the body.
I've played these games before.
It appears that in her dying moments, with her final ounce of strength, the victim clutched a piece of evidence that would positively identify her killer.
What? What is that? Is that Ray's pen?
Your Excellency, if I would cast your eyes over the photographic print of the crime. Pen, hand, right hand, over there, grasp, see?
Oh, goodness me! Victim's clearly grasping at something deliberately in the hand. That's right, the fountain pen. And if you would kindly examine the pen, Your Excellency. Uh-oh. The owner's initials have been oh, no.
Ah. Ray, did you sign her body after you finished killing her too? Ah! Why is it always like this? It's always like this.
Or M. The initials of the defendant.
Ow, pain. Don't push a girl, Judge.
This fountain pen will be immediately admitted as critical evidence.
It carries the initials RM. Right, hold. We need to examine. Examine. I can't examine this? Okay. What happens if you flip it upside down? WV? Wilson Victoria? What is an R upside down? It could be a lowercase d, maybe? WD. Wilson Dumb. No, that doesn't work. What is an upside down R? What is an upside down R? Let's think about this. What is an upside down? No, I don't think it's gonna work. I can't just flip it over. Okay, what if it means something else? Radical mangoes. No, I don't know. Frick.
Have I admitted anything? Decisive testimony? Damning evidence! There's a bright blue sky outside the courthouse today. Perfect weather to ascribe guilt, I feel.
Get up! Get up, Ryutaro! Get up! Thank you for the upside down R. I don't understand. The prosecutor ouchie of 9 months ago had none of this man's poem. Who would name someone Radical Mangoes? Everyone, I'd like you to meet my daughter.
Counsel for the defense, you may begin your cross-examination now. Naruhodo-san!
Naruhodo. Yeah, that's me. Oh, yeah, yes, me.
Is there another Naruhodo in my courtroom?
Actually, there are no Naruhodos in the courtroom. Actually, there is a Thank you. Thank you. I can't keep getting away with it.
Cousin Ryutaro, pull yourself together, please.
Oh, all right. I've seen this countless times as a judicial assistant. Find inconsistencies and prove they're lying. That's all there is to it. That's how a real lawyer would handle a cross-examination. So let's see what I can do. All right, here we go. The first cross-examination. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment. I don't care. We'll press them a little bit first before we just present the evidence. I managed to catch the crab. Tell me about that.
Hold it!
You're describing the victim's screen. No, I want to know more about the crab that he was trying to catch.
More literary terms, you might say it was a scream that could have pierced the heavens. With a like. Of course, it's just metaphor. We renowned authors are wont to describing things so.
Sasaki-san wasn't at all like this in English.
Anyway, I spun around at the noise, and Beach Hut immediately fell under my gaze.
Yes, the beach hut. The area is popular with government ministers. Many have seaside retreats there for the rest and recuperation.
Ah, so rich people go there.
Locals are prohibited from entering the area, so it's always very quiet. A beach hut is a simple structure, erected as a place for changing or take refuge from sun. Although English woman commandeered a hut for herself, which mean I was forced to change into my swimwear on the set. It is okay, just a moment please. I will get naked, but there is nothing wrong with natural body.
That is such a Soseki thing to do.
I imagine that was rather embarrassing for you.
Well, anyway, I tossed crab aside.
Can we talk about the crab? Why did you chase after a crab?
And head for the beach hut and run. Or, in more literary term, I decrabbed and beetled off hut-wise.
He just yeeted the crab. Pair in question. Young girl was astride the English woman, dagger in hand. I ran into the beach hut.
Hold it!
Wait, by pair you don't mean to say... But how could that be?
No, you misunderstand. Obviously, I mean the victim and defendant, Rei Mambani-san.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Hold on. I ran where I found the pair in question. You don't mean... how could that... What? I have no idea.
If you jump to conclusions, you have to expect to fall flat on your face.
Dear me! Pinning your hopes on such an outside chance. Foolish. Very foolish.
Important question. Was the crab mumbling?
It was really an outside chance. I just wish I had realized before I said something silly.
Inspector, why don't you tell the court exactly how you found the aforementioned pair in the hut?
Well, it was a sorry sight. Really grisly scene. I parted the Northern curtain hanging from the doorway and stepped inside only to see the defendant leaning menacingly over the lifeless body of the victim, sprawled on the sand.
You good, buddy? You good?
My glasses very nearly cracked at the ominous sight.
How thoroughly appalling!
Doesn't appear to be lying here. Well, Soseki-san, can you confirm with the inspector?
You like a literary man opinion?
I probably shouldn't ask about the dagger in hand. Yeah, probably not a good idea to ask about this one. I mean, I guess we can. As she stabbed wildly. Was he bleeding? You mean Hosonaga? Yeah, Hosonaga coughs up blood sometimes. It proved to me that she stabbed the victim multiple. Should we press this or should we just go for it? We'll press this, just to be careful.
Since she was stabbed multiple times, how can you be sure of that?
Ah, the Yuri case. How's it going, Indigo?
Very simple. From the blood on the blade.
Yes, I mean, all the fan fiction writers, they're just like, oh my god, Rei Mambami, ex Susato, ex Reader, ex Sonic, ex Shadow.
The blood?
When I entered the hut, I saw the defendant holding the blade raised up in the air.
Making dinner? God dear, nuggies. Nuggies are good.
Yes, that's right, I saw too.
Oh.
And I noted there was blood on the blade already at that point. In other words, victim had already been stabbed at least once by the time I arrived.
Yeah. That's right, I saw too.
And the victim was already holding the defendant's fountain pen in her hand too. All of which means I can be sure the victim did not die instantly.
Hi, wakatta, hi.
Maybe a year in London is too much for him. He sounds like he's forgotten how to speak Japanese.
Oh, whoops. I mean, hi, wakata, watashi wa, watashi wa, natsume.
The logic of your argument is sound, at least. Well, as I said, it is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly.
Perhaps it should have been your guiding principle to protect the victim flawlessly. Damn, girl, don't provoke him like that. That's just my personal opinion, of course.
That hurt my feelings. Counsel, you refrain from mocking the witness.
I just have so many thoughts whirling through my head. All I can do is stand here, wide-eyed and mute.
Oh, goodness, my dear. You must really try to calm down.
But how am I supposed to find an inconsistency? It's not like we already know it. I don't see why either of them would have any reason to lie.
What you must remember, I think, is that witnesses may inadvertently lie. For various reasons. Misunderstanding, mistake, delusion even.
A delusion? Like all the Wattpad writers?
There's at least 150 fanfics of Susato and Ray.
What's important is that we determine the truth. And there is only one way to be sure of that.
With evidence, of course.
Spoken like a true judicial assistant. During witness testimony, use on. Listen carefully and compare to the detail of court record. If you find conflicting information, inconsistency...
Yes, Father, I already know.
You really shouldn't have played around. Now you have to listen to the tutorial.
Yes. All right then. I'll consider the details of the evidence in the court record.
I can't remember if Susato Gina is a ship.
Don't forget, you can have the witness repeat their statements as many times. So those wide eyes are quite forgivable. And besides, there's no one else to defend the girl.
You're right. I'll listen to the testimony from the start.
Yes. Multiple times, you say.
Objection!
She's entering the zone!
With that accusatory cry that just welled up from deep inside me, I think I finally understand. Every time Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san have stood here at this bench,
They've entered the zone!
What's the meaning of the menacing pose, counsel?
I'd like the witness to clarify something for me.
Who? What? Where? When? How?
Not you, Soseki-san. The query is directed at Inspector Hosanaga.
That's me.
Gina has a ship with a character she's never met. Of course.
In your statement just now, you said that the victim was stabbed multiple times.
Hey, that's right. As I said when I entered the hut, the defendant was already standing over the victim, bloody knife in hand, like murderous demon.
And yet, that cannot be.
What? Get to the point, please, counsel.
It's her big book of everything! Oh, we're back, baby! Yeah! Let's go, Susato!
In the post-mortem report, it clearly states that the victim was stabbed one time only. In other words, Inspector Hosanaga's testimony is clearly flawed! And so Seki-san,
Me?
you claim to have seen Membani-san in the throes of stabbing the victim.
Yes, I did. Why, finally?
Both of you and the inspector confirmed the same point, that there was already blood on the knife when you saw the defendant holding it.
Yes. Ando.
It's quite simple. We know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim only once. Therefore, there is no way there could have been blood on that knife if that single stabbing hadn't already occurred.
True! Then what is your contention, counsel? Are you ever going to tell us?
Yes, Your Excellency. There's only one logical conclusion. What Soseki-san saw was not the moment of the defendant stabbed the victim at all, but the moment that the defendant, in fact, withdrew the blade from the victim's body.
Oh, yeah, there we... Okay, yes, this is all supporting my poison theory. Okay, this is good. We can spin this. We can spin this as... she wasn't trying to kill her. She was trying to save her life. Oh, that's good. That's good. Suddenly, we're no longer the perpetrator. We're actually an innocent guardian angel trying to save... Ooh, yeah, okay, we good. That's a big Yuri fan. You see, being a Yuri fan is being correct. See, it's only proper to like Yuri.
Excellent work, Susato. You exploded at them with their objection and proceeded to pull them apart systematically.
Objection!
Oh, come on, boy. Come on, boy.
Well, this takes me back. Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in the trial 9 months ago. A half-witted child, half-baked objection, attempting to steal the show.
You're right. There were many similarities. Except the so-called half-witted child managed to outwit the prosecution, who only has a half head of hair.
Oh, damn, you don't have to do him like that. Damn, boy.
Slander! My head is adequately dressed! In any case, all this stopping of stabbing and withdrawing and multiple wounds, it makes not a jot of difference!
Why not?
Engage your brain, young man! When the accused first plunged the deadly weapon into the victim, that was the fatal blow. And it was that moment, just as she had withdrawn her blade ready for the next strike, that the witnesses saw! The knife was already tainted with blood because the accused had already stabbed the victim.
Ouchie's your favorite pain? I mean, he's a good pain, but No. All pains suck. We already have Yuri. Everything has Yuri. Because because you see, if you know your market, you include Yuri.
All you have successfully shown with your little display is that the mustache author is prone to moments of extravagance.
Damn, don't do him like that. Everything is Yuri if you try hard enough. You're not wrong.
I am in agreement with the
Why does the judge always hate us? Come on. You guys remember this thing called innocent until proven guilty? No one. No. Reasonable doubt. You guys remember that? No, nothing. Okay. It's all Yuri.
That is sufficient actions for her grounds for her actions to be viewed with suspicion.
But if she was withdrawing the blade,
And we are back to where we started.
sorry.
Consider this, young yokel boy. If the student girl is as innocent as you claim, why would she have pulled the blade from the victim? And with a demon's cold-blooded composure. The prosecution demands an explanation! And it better be good!
Why did Ray pull out the knife?
Yes, going for the jugular.
What does father mean by that?
Let us hear your answer then, counsel.
The truth is, I don't really know, but I have to come up with a plausible reason here. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife blade out of the victim's body was surely so she could stab her again. Hold on, I want to check something. Can we still can't examine this? Frick. We can still examine this. But nothing really of note. I mean, the only thing that would work is that she was trying to save her life. But as you know, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who have never been stabbed, hopefully you've never been stabbed. If you're stabbed and the wound is deep, you don't pull it out because that will cause blood loss. So we have to come up with a plausible reason as to why she would do that. But she wouldn't it's not necessary that she would even know that. So we'll just say save her life. Simple. Just go with my first. How's it going, Nishimiya? Alright, consult the big book of everything. You got this. According to the post-mortem report, the victim's death was not instant.
That is correct. It's thought that she would have remained conscious for a short while after suffering the injury.
Indeed, giving her the time to hold this piece of evidence that clearly indicates her killer.
The point is, must have been a win. It was probably like tomato juice or something. Being a medical research assistant, Membonami-san was oh no, that's even worse. Because she should know, right? I don't know. Membonami-san was compelled to act when faced with the wounded victim. Instinctively, she pulled the blade out in an attempt to save Miss Brett's life. Dad, at least you could take my side. Please, Daddy. You have to read Moby Dick and Scarlet Letter. Those are classics. Those are classic. That's classic American literature.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? It would seem this is the best we can expect of this young yokel.
Hmm.
And don't shake your head. Oh. Just me, or does it suddenly feel much colder in here?
Your Excellency, if I may. Speak, witness. I would like another opportunity to testify. In respect to the slipshod assertion just put forward by the yokel defense
Damn, they really dragging her through the mud. They really doing her like that. Slipshod?
An excellent idea, Inspector. Our young yokel has a modicum of knowledge when it comes to the law, it seems. But in matters of medicine, he appears to possess not one iota of common sense.
Very well, Inspector. I will permit your request. You will testify again before the court on the subject of the defense counsel's assertion. Yes, sir. I will do so flawlessly. Hey. Pulling a blade from a wounded without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. That is basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know.
What if she didn't have sense? Can we make that argument for our best friend? I don't know.
In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Let us not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor.
Is what you said true, Inspector? Could pulling a knife from a wound really cause the wound to bleed heavily?
Yes. Think of the weapon itself like a cork for a wine bottle for the brilliant prosecutor from across the sea. Until a doctor is ready to provide proper treatment, the stuffer shouldn't be...
Well, we can argue that she knew the proper treatment, but then again, she was in the middle of a beach. I don't know. Oh, I see.
Ha! This is why yokels should stay on the farm! Go home, country boy! Even a quack from some obscure mountain village would have some basic knowledge. Anyone who's ever given a little poke with a knife...
Who have you poked with a knife, buddy? Oh, well, I've never stabbed anyone, you see. Or pulled a blade out of a wound, so...
Of course you haven't. I didn't bring you up to behave like Ouchie.
Ooh. Father, is it true what they're telling me?
Yes, it's basic remedial knowledge for medics. They would have been well aware of it. If she were to claim ignorance of such fundamentals, that would prove fatal in many ways.
But then, why would Ray have done it? Could she have pulled out that knife in full knowledge it would have been fatal for Miss Brett?
I don't know.
Okay. Hear me out, okay? Let's just suppose that the knife was covered in strike 9 and it was stabbed into someone, right? You would pull it out because the strike 9 would kill you faster than bleeding out. So if I left the knife in, it might kill you faster. So I would rather risk you bleeding out, but you having a slower death so that I could save you, than leaving the knife in, right? Remember the whole poison thing? Maybe she thought the knife was poison, and so she had to pull it out because the poison could have killed her. Maybe the poison was really fast acting, right? So maybe it was poison and not suffocation like I originally thought. I still don't know if suffocation causes your pupils to contract. I think it does. I'm not sure. It seems almost impossible to believe, but could my friend actually have? Ray, why'd you do it? Ray, how could you? Why'd you do it, Ray?
Susato,
Yes?
pull yourself together. We mustn't lose sight of why we are here.
You have to read The Black Cat. I've never heard that one either, to be honest. Indigo and Ivy.
Counsel, it's time for your cross-examination. Oh, wait. Counsel, it's time for your
Wrong voice.
However, I must warn you that if your cross-examination fails to identify any issue with established facts, I will be moving to adjudicate immediately.
You got this. You got this. You got this, Ryutaro. Believe in your clients and fighting for their cause until the bitter end. I knew it would be hard, but I had no idea it would be this hard. It's okay. It's okay. Believe in your best friend / lover. Okay. Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. That's basic knowledge. In other words, there's no good reason the defendant would have tried to... In other words, there's no good reason as to why the defendant would have tried to pull them out. Okay, let's challenge this.
Hold it!
But the defendant suddenly encountered somebody she knew lying on the ground, bleeding to death. The sight could have shocked her delicate sensibilities, causing her to remove the blade inadvertently. Okay, maybe.
I really don't think inadvertent actions can explain this. The woman is a medical researcher. I can't imagine she would behave so irrationally.
Oh, but irrational behavior is a woman's prerogative. Oh my god! Susato! Susato! Damn! Susato's becoming a chauvinist! Susato, you can't say that! We are in the middle of a beautiful revolution, Susato! God damn, Susato!
Oh dear. You have a lot to learn about what?
Damn, Susato! Osanaga is a feminist. Susato really said, women ain't shit. God damn. Man, 5 minutes as a man and the masculinity's creeping up. Hell yeah, Susato, after this we're going to the gym.
Only a small-minded man could have such
Bigoted views. God damn. Hosanaga's pandering to the modern audience with this one. Oh dear. Perhaps I'm letting my male persona take a hold. This is a good game. Oh, I forgot how much I love this game.
Well, have I managed to convey the basics now? I should cover the medical side of the argument. We are now a country of woke.
Now they definitely believe she's a man. You know what? That was a good cover for her. Oh, silly old Sanaga. Okay, let's not forget she had a motive. I can't even focus anymore. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, the man was a respected mentor. She didn't have a motive. Let's not forget the young student did have a motive. In other words, I want to see if I can push a alternate idea of the fact that maybe there was something other than the knife that killed her. I can't find a single crack. If Ray knew that withdrawing the knife from the wound would threaten Miss Brett's life further, I just can't think of any way to explain why she did it. I mean, you could just ask her to testify, to be honest. If only detectives were real. God, oh man, like, so all the freaking, everyone in this game is an idiot. Okay, every single one. Maybe except Miles Edgeworth, but even he has his moments of idiocy.
Susato, remember the fundamentals.
The fundamentals?
Evidence. Evidence.
I've been through the court record a dozen times.
I think it's perhaps because you're forgetting something. You needn't take the evidence at face value. You can examine. I realize this is your first time playing this game. So if you need a reminding of the rudiments, only ask. I do my very best.
What about the vampire? I know what to do. Van Zeeks. I mean, he goes through like 50 glasses a day, so he's not very intelligent in terms of financials. Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo were always turning evidence over in their wait, is that canon? Come to think of it, Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san were always turning evidence over and over in their hands. Is that actually canon? So they just like pick it up and go, oh, okay, oh. I need to examine.
By the look in your eyes, I see it's coming back to you. Go through the court record again and have a thorough look at everything.
Yes, I'll do it straight away.
Okay, so we should go to court record.
Wait, now we can examine the pen? What the f- Look at. Oh, wait, if I flip it upside down, it's a, no, but the period's down at the bottom. Unless the period's at the top. Hey, Light. just eat the pen, easy. That's some arbitrary. The RM initials are very clearly engraved.
The fact that Miss Brett was clinging to it at her dying moments is a very clear message.
To identify her killer?
I don't think there can be any doubt. This is a key piece of evidence.
The initials were HM in JP. What was her name in Japanese? What was Rei Membazmi's name in Japanese? Oh, what about this? What is this symbol right here? There's some sort of emblem here. Haori Murasame. Haori Murasame. Is that a pun? I don't know my Japanese to be able to make the puns. I don't know enough Japanese to be able to connect the puns with the actual words. Haori Murasame. I don't know.
There's some sort of emblem here, look. But it isn't a Yume University one.
It must belong to some other organization, I suppose. A business of some kind. But that would imply the impen does not belong to Rei.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, so we have a weird symbol here. Can we take off the lid or something? Not the lid, the cap. If we take off the pen's lid... Oh, do they call it a lid?
Now let's unscrew the barrel, shall we?
Totally random. But did you guys take apart ballpoint pens when you were a kid? I used to, like in the middle of English class when I was finishing my essay, I would take them apart and put them back together all the time. Once or twice, I did it all the time. It had to do with flowers. Oh, maybe Murasame. Maybe.
This must be the little reservoir that holds the ink.
Yes, you fill it by drawing ink from a bottle through the nib.
Pens and mechanical pencils. Oh man, I did so much of that. Mechanical pencils, absolutely. Like sometimes I would break them and then I couldn't put the spring back in. And it was like, oh well, frick. Hardly ever did it. Well, you're not cool. Only cool kids did it.
Is something wrong, Father?
You took apart my... Yes, I love taking apart like pencils and pens and like if you had mechanical erasers, I would take those apart too. Took apart one once. Okay, then you're one point cool. But yeah, taking apart mechanical pencils, I did that so much.
Huh. Just that there doesn't actually appear to be any ink, that's all.
Oh, yes, you're right. It's pretty empty. Well, it could be on the verge of running out, I suppose.
Okay, so there's a very small amount of liquid still inside. Wait, there's a very small amount of liquid still inside the ink reservoir. And some weird emblem. Oh yeah, like a very... Is that the very small amount? Maybe. Nothing here. We've already looked at that. We've already looked at that. And we've already looked at this. Okay. Okay, so let's see what he says. Pulling a blade would cause heavy bleeding. That's correct. So effectively, it's true, it's very empty. That's basic knowledge. In other words, there's no good reason why the victim would have tried to pull the knife. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. Was highly respected mentor. Okay. Let's not forget the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. That is a true statement. In theory, he's not wrong. Basic knowledge. Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. That is a correct statement. That's basic knowledge. Any medical assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. There's no good reason. All right, let's look at other things as well. So we've mostly examined this fountain pen. Oh, now we can examine this too. I swear. I swear. Thank you, game.
Rakuus, England, returnees tell all. Is this the interview with you and Soseki-san? It looks as if it was quite an exchange.
Yes, it became a little bit over-animated when he started talking about his time in England. The photographer managed to capture a moment his hand karate chopped me in the neck.
What?
I hope you weren't hurt.
No, he was so weak.
Oh, hey, look, there's an advertisement for the steakhouse from the first game. Right, La Carnival, if you guys remember. Na Karunebaru. Oh, go back. What about this? Anything here?
There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Exclusive. Deadly... Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. From Yume Medical Research. Father, isn't this your lab?
What the? Let me see that. The poison's been stolen.
Wait, he didn't even know? That's his lab. That's your lab. Huh? It's this morning's paper that Soseki-san gave us. Are you saying you didn't know?
As embarrassing as that is for the head of the laboratory, I didn't. I'd not heard such a thing. Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned this information?
Come to think of it, there was no article mentioning this story in our paper this morning, was there?
It's a highly toxic poison we've been working in the strictest confidence. I put Ray in charge of the project.
Ray? She...
If what's written here is true, it means she tried to hide the theft from me. And moreover, the details were leaked somehow.
I don't believe it.
We need to read this article very carefully.
Are we gonna read it very carefully? No. Okay. Hear me out here. Hear me out here. Hear me out. The poison is in Daddy's lab. Do you know who went to visit Daddy's lab? Soseki. Soseki went to visit Daddy's lab. And they had an interview, or like a debate, about their time in England. And that debate appeared on the newspaper. And there just so happens to be a reporter following Soseki around with a camera that would have taken this picture, that would have also maybe overheard some details about the poison, which is why it ended up in the paper. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, hear me out here. If somebody in the paper knows about the poison, you would expect the person who knows about the poison in the paper is a reporter of some sort. Just hear me out here. Hear me out, okay? I was going to accuse him. He's been through a lot. I wouldn't do that to my boy. There is no good reason. There is a good reason!
Objection!
No. There is one possibility. One very good reason. Why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound. Oh? When you started with Soseki, I thought, we're the murderer!
Ha! Yoko not only has a poor grasp of the law, but is also a poor loser! Tell us, what possibility do you think you've identified?
It's here. In this newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison having been stolen from a laboratory
at the Imperial Yume.
Objection! The victim perished from a stab wound. Poison has no relevance.
But
Prosecutor Aoji, let the defendant speak.
But, he's sexist!
Counsel for the defense. I am going to need some tangible basis for your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper article mentioned affirms your assertion.
Your Excellency!
yes, of course. Thank you. They would never have done something to further endanger Miss Brett's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife from the victim's body is explained where the articles. Wait, what? I don't know. They didn't let me read the article. Oh, can I read the article now? Give me a moment. Oh, now we can read the. Following a lecture, a deadly poison was developed. Deadly in tiniest quantities, even the smallest amount, okay, would have proved fatal in minutes. Current methods cannot be detected. Wait, current methods cannot detect the newly developed poison. The university would have to be. So they couldn't even detect the poison. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, starting with a breathing, ending with acute contraction of the contraction of the pupils. The contradiction of the pupils. Wrong! There were no pupils. What was that section? Why is the poison being developed? Contradict the pupils. According to the article, the development of the poison was requested by the military.
Yes, a troubling revelation indeed. Furthermore, why do you and all your friends keep revealing government secrets?
You know, it kind of just comes with the territory. Oh, it's very worrying.
And yet, even more worrying is how this yokel is trying to manipulate the court on nothing more than rumors!
Wait, what? Was I wrong? But I feel so sure, Ray. I am sure the explanation is somewhere in the newspaper article. A red dot is flashing on her head. Yes. The reason why. Oh, they don't take away points from me. Okay. I guess deadliest and tiniest quantities. I was going to say the contraction of the contradiction of the pupils because it matches Ray, or that matches what's her name? Her symptoms. Giselle Brett's symptoms, but maybe they just wanted to say it was incredibly urgent because even a small amount of quantity can kill very quickly. Dang, you hear that? The slam and all the music stops. The article reveals the following property about the poison. When the toxin enters the body with a knife, laced with the oh, does it specifically say knife? I didn't even realize that. It's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes.
Are you suggesting?
If the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison, it would explain why the defendant, Membami-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible. Yes, the truth is, it was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body. Let's go! Let's go, Susato Taro!
Objection! This is complete and utter nonsense!
Not at all! The defendant withdrew the knife blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life, and the prosecution cannot deny that possibility. For reference, botulinum toxins
LD50 for humans is just 1 nanogram. Alright, so let me get this straight. Okay, so lethal dose of that toxin that you just said is 0.000001 grams. That's 1/1000th of a milligram. That would kill someone weighing 70 kilograms. What is that, like a standard 5'10" male? I don't know what my kilograms are. Nobody uses kilograms. What are we, in Britain or something? Wait.
Have you not read the post-mortem report? The cause of death was a hemorrhage. The word poison appears nowhere in the document.
Well, that's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold.
Oh, please! This is desperation! The weasel's last breaking of wind! The poison has nothing whatsoever to do with the case, as I believe the defense is well aware! We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is reliable anyway!
In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead, you claim she suspected poisoning and took potentially lethal decision to remove the blade. She must have a strong reason for her suspicion, or the argument makes no sense.
Look at him all smiley and happy. He's like, I can argue too, guys.
Exactly! Well put, Inspector! On what grounds did she do it? Ha, Yoko!
Did Ray suspect the stolen poison was involved? Well, she would have known that the poison was stolen, right? Because she was in charge of it. She's like the only other person who would have known. If you want ground, I'll give you ground. Why does it sound so weird?
What? The ground is made of ground!
You can't possibly.
From your expression, counsel, it would appear those are not empty words. But naturally, as you stand in the courtroom as a lawyer,
Oh, wait, this judge.
you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence.
Yes, Your Excellency. I'm well aware of that. I've seen it many times from my place at his side on the Old Bailey.
In that case, counsel, would you present the proof to the court now? What evidence demonstrates a clear link between the poison and the newspaper article?
Take that, baby.
Take that!
I would ask the court to refer to the notes section in the post-mortem report, which reads, extreme meiosis, pupil contradiction, was observed in the victim.
Why do his clothes look like a jail uniform? Apparently that's what people wore when they went out swimming in the past. Apparently that's a thing. I don't know it, I'm not that old. Pupil contradiction. It's the most toxic substance we know of at the moment. Oh, interesting. I'll remember that. I mean, what?
Clearly, being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science. I have no idea, so please do tell me. Presumably, the fact that this condition of the victim was noted in the post-mortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death. Right, non-yokels?
Oh, they use it in Botox. Of course they do.
Under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies.
Wait, is that true? People who've killed someone. Is this true?
If there was extreme constriction instead, that is most unusual, yes.
What are you doing, Yoko Detective?
Murderers, can you confirm?
According to my big book of everything, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occur in minutes, ending with acute contradiction of the pupils.
You can confirm, thank you.
What?
If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice that the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes had been constricted.
Yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately. Without doubt.
Prosecutor Ouchie, I think you'll agree this is very compelling evidence.
You go, student and professor!
Hey, how's it going, Arcane?
I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defense's actions.
No.
Yujin Migotoba. Yes, Your Excellency. I believe you are best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense counsel's argument. How convenient that you are standing here. You tell the court the truth about the details reported in this paper, please. It pains me to admit it.
Oh. Right, they sound similar.
But I'm afraid I don't know. You don't know? The toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly. But I was unaware of any theft. Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded? Oh, are unfounded?
Dang it! They sound so similar, I keep missing their voices.
No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I cannot say.
Here!
You know pigs can eat a human butt. Wow, thanks. Thanks for that information.
Listen to the bumbling academic. Unaware of the theft of a state secret research from his own workplace until he reads of it in the newspaper.
I take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision.
Father. Tisk! A pitiful situation for a university professor. You should have more control over your students, rather than allowing them to off on killing sprees.
That's totally unfound.
Right. Hold.
None of this is Professor Migotoba's fault. It's all my fault. Ray?
Membami-san, you stand accused here. Outbursts like this will not be tolerated.
But it was...
Ray.
I was the one who noticed that the poison we were developing had been stolen.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
What?
So you knew? I'd been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that the professor and Soseki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper. That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was.
Why didn't you let me know immediately?
Because she was ashamed, obviously.
I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had somehow been taken. So, I decided I'd try to get it back before anyone else found out. Because I had a very good idea who the thief was.
Oh, she thought it was Jezile Brett. Jezile Brett did nothing wrong. She is completely innocent.
Yes, of course. It was that dainty, incredibly beautiful, incredibly lovely, and capable of winning over any man's heart Englishwoman.
Miss Jezile Brett.
That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. but she just sat on a stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me, as if she knew she was untouchable. But oh my God, did I want to touch her?
What? What? I mean...
I know it was you who stole the poison! Oh, well now, whatever do you mean? And then, she suddenly got to her feet, before falling to her knees in front of me and then collapsing on the floor.
She has murdered him. I don't know what you're talking about. She is innocent as heck. Ray has one of the gayest characters.
That's when I saw the knife in her back.
Wait, what? So she just stood up and then there was a knife in her back. Give me a moment. Is it possible to stick a knife here? Like in this little hole right here? It looks like there's a little hole right there. I mean, these look like sticks, right? You could maybe push them aside? I don't know. So she just fell over and then the knife was just magically there. You like that, Ray likes girls. It's not confirmed, but it's not denied either.
And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes they shrunk to tiny pinpoints.
I don't believe it. You saw her eyes.
Nobody sees her eyes.
In other words, you realized the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison.
My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips. Her beautiful, tender while I was with her. Which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body.
Mana down, as in down bad, because yeah.
On the blade of the knife in her back.
And that train of thought was what spurred you to withdraw the blade.
Bad dog.
Yes. If the amount had entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might still have a chance. That's what I hoped. Really, I'm so sorry for staying silent all this time.
That's a sweaty boy. Your attempt to hide the truth of what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I have duly noted the courage with which you confessed in the end.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It's barely perceptible, but I do think the balance has shifted a little here in this courtroom now.
Objection!
Uh-oh.
Your Excellency! Do not be deceived. The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, remember me, son. If that's the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed.
You see, when a knife enters a victim's body...
You have no answer because the simple truth is that you stabbed the victim!
Objection!
But you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion!
Oh! I have evidence. And it's very much conclusive.
Oh, buts. It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm almost sure of it.
You will produce the aforementioned evidence at once, Professor Ouchie.
Perhaps some praise is due, young yokel student.
What?
I imagine there would be no need for me to submit this evidence. But you brought this on yourself!
Ray, how could you? Ray, why did you do it? Ray, no! I'm gonna point out that at the very top right corner, there happens to be a little squiggly mark. There happens to be a little squiggly mark in the top right corner that looks like a lens crack. And you see, when there's a lens crack, it shows up in a lot of different situations. Remember, okay, so hear me out here. Some poor gaming journalist was all like, dang it, now that Concord failed, and I tried to promote Dragon Age the Veilguard, and that one failed. What can I possibly write on next? Wait a second. Did they say poison? I'm just saying. Hear me out here. Maybe some journalist was so fed up with his career. Never use a broken lens. Lens is law.
Could a more damning shot exist? The cruelty in the air and the beach is palpable.
You're hearing me out? Just let me have this. I'm just saying, maybe an innocent paparazzi ain't so innocent, if you know what I'm saying. Oh.
This evidence reveals more than any other the true extent of the accused's murderous nature. For it shows the precise moment Membomi's son plunged the dagger into the victim's back.
The paparazzi is never innocent. Hey, Ouchie! Where'd you get the picture from?
No, that's not true. I don't believe it. Ow! Someone threw me. I'm the one who's supposed to be throwing.
Order! Order! Counsel for the defense.
Was it you who was responsible for that shrill scream? Ah!
Perhaps his voice has yet to break. These yokels are slow.
I've slow to mature.
I'll show you who's slow to mature.
Careful now. Susato is starting to show her face here.
I mean, I'm a man. I'm Ryutaro Naruhodo, and I'm a big, strong man.
Fun fact, women generally voice boys under the age of 16. So she could probably voice a teenage boy.
It's often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And we have ample proof. The court will accept this extremely cogent?
I never actually knew how to pronounce that. Is that soft G or hard G? Cogent? It's cogent, right?
cogent photographic print as evidence.
Incriminating. The evidence is just called incriminating photograph. Well, butts. It's such a stark image. I'm genuinely lost for words. Wait a minute. I don't understand. How did you... Who took that photo? Yes, yes. Asking the important questions. Question the source of the evidence, right? Don't just listen to journalists. Do your research. Well, I'm about to get canceled. It was nice knowing you all.
Objection! That's of no importance.
This is a true statement. Where's your proof? The proof is I said so.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? That's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. My sources, I made the Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony.
I will uphold the defense's demand.
All right, cameraman, come out. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get freaking him. You guys remember when we framed an entire murder on Old Bag just so we could get our client one more day of investigation? Good times.
The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Old Bag, she deserved it.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Pardon?
You see, this print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by
Express Post. So it's an anonymous photograph tape? So you're just... This is the anonymous tip line. He's just like, oh, we got an anonymous tip. Frickin'.
But there's nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. Provenance of the print is unknown.
Goodness.
Are we to understand then, counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photograph has the murkiest of origins, you nonetheless believed it fit for submission?
When you first produced that print before, I noticed you hesitated for a brief moment. Because you are a liar, boy.
Clever boy.
Silence, you yokel student! And what matters is the blatant truth that this print so eloquently expresses.
But the defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound. Clearly, this isn't the moment that the knife was plunged into the victim's back. But...
the moment it was withdrawn? Don't waste this court's time with your ramblings.
Indeed. Without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. And the scene it captures is without doubt the most compelling evidence. If the defense is unable to shed further light on the matter, I believe conclusions are clear.
Oh no.
Susato, this is the time for you to fight. That's right. The Susato throw. You can do it. Throw him upside down, then kick his face in. If what you've established so far is true, there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Rei withdrew the blade from the victim.
Yes, we just need to prove that somehow.
You'll have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the provinces. And to rue the day you came up against Takeda! Ouchie, ouchie! In a court of law!
If I can't determine who took this photograph, the trial's going to come to an end. There must be a clue somewhere. Some way of working out who took it.
Well, counsel.
Your Excellency, the burning question is who took the photograph. And the truth is... I mean, we don't have the answer, but we have the answer. We can simply ask the newspaper who wrote the article, right? This isn't about whether or not I can or can't come up with the answer. I simply have to. Yep, you agree? Okay. Because you don't know how many times. You don't know how many times where they give me a choice where it's like, do we know who it was? And it's like, yes, we know who it was. And she's like, no, I don't know who it was, but I can prove who it was. The identity of the person who took the photograph is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal.
You can't possibly. But as you so boldly claim you can, please enlighten us.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to present a name.
Underwhelming. Did you really believe you...
However,
Wow, you hit that desk really loud.
I will present evidence. The defense has a piece of evidence that reveals important details about the photographer's identity.
I'm in danger.
Very well then, counsel. Please, present the proof. Which piece of evidence reveals something?
Bam!
Take that!
The newspaper again. Vacuous England returnees tell all.
It's not the headline that's relevant here. It's the photograph. If you look at it closely, you'll notice that there are some white lines on the right-hand side.
Yes, indeed. They already caught my eye as it happens.
Ha! A shadow of some kind from the branches of a tree.
There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can tell you.
Now, if you look closely at this photograph,
Good gracious.
the exact same pattern of lines is present at the photograph too!
Objection!
Well, this sucks, man. Ha! It's a shadow from the branches of a tree.
There wouldn't be any trees growing inside the hut of a beach, Council.
Yeah.
What's quite remarkable is that the two patterns are absolutely identical. How could such extraordinary similarity have transpired?
The curious matching pattern appears on both photographic prints is the result of a camera defect. Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera.
With the photographic device.
Yes, we can confidently say that the camera's lens must be scratched. And the scratched lens can cause unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device. Unless you use AI, which is how a lot of Apple and Samsung phones have been trying to cheat people out of buying new cameras.
In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken by the same camera! Baldur's Gate 3 is making you play chess. Just turn it to easy difficulty.
devices here. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of that particular one.
I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Ouchie, that one of the photographs featured in a newspaper article.
Newspaper? In the future, we won't have newspaper. We'll have grok.
That's right. Wait, no, that's not what I meant. The author of the article is the mystery witness to this crime.
Now who's screaming like a girl, baby?
What?
What?
I see why you were called a Rakuous England returnee.
What are you yelling about? You already testified.
It's many memo, I tell you. Many memo.
Mini Mimble. Mini Mimble. That almost feels like a tongue twister, not a name. Mini Mimble. Many memo. You good, Soseki? Soseki, what was that? Did you say many memo?
Ever since I returned to Japan, reporter from Shoyu News,
Shoyu News.
has been hounding me, following my every move. A reporter by the name of Wright Mini Memo.
I hate it here. I hate it here. Yes. Just quit laughing. Such a stupid name, and they're the same initials too. Now that he mentions it. Hear me out. I was right. Okay, so I'm just saying, y'all think I'm insane sometimes, but there is a method to my insanity madness.
A camera to the left, notebook to the right. There I am, stuck in the middle with Wright Mini Memo.
He's so dumb.
This picture was
Mini Memo! My lord,
Your Excellency Esquire. Officer, find this newspaper reporter at once. Bring him to my courtroom. We will adjourn for a short recess.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency.
As you say, Your Excellency.
One more thing. I want this knife, the murder weapon, examined for poison. You will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University Medical Department. Understood.
I'm an airplane! I mean, yes! Many memo!
Will Manakyn die from the next pun? Find out next time. The matching initials, I know, right? Heta Mamemomi was the original. That was fun. Oh my god, that was torture. We have Ray Membami. And then we have Wright in many memo. It's so bad. It's so freaking bad. Oh, I see. HM was the initial. Do I know the pun? Yes, I understand the pun. It's so bad. It's so bad. Remember me. Oh my god. I love this game though. I do love this game. I miss this game. I'm so glad we get to play it again. Make an assassin call named You Gonna Die. That's a good one too. I didn't realize it until you saw people complaining about it, saying her Japanese name was better. I think people are sometimes a little bit too severe when it comes to localization, right? You know, I feel like a lot of people... Yeah, Raiten many memo. At first when I saw Raiten, I thought like, oh, it's like the god of thunder. And then I put it together, Raiten many memo. I was like, oh no. But I think people are sometimes a little bit too harsh on localization. If you ask me. Raijin? Oh, maybe that is Raijin. Yeah, it's not right. It's not right. You know, when I'm playing this game, sometimes my mind goes out the window, so it's Raiden. It's Raiden, like true god of thunder. Anyway, yeah, what was I saying about yeah, localization. You know, I feel like a lot of people, they like the Japanese localization. My nose is super red. What the frick? It must be really cold outside today. It was really cold outside today, actually. But yeah, my nose gets very red when it's cold. But anyway, what was I saying? Rudolph knows. Shut up. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like people are a little bit too harsh on localizers. Like, obviously, if you completely destroy the context of the of the script, yeah, we should be harsh on that. But like, you know, a lot of people are like, I prefer subs over dubs or so on and so forth. Very often people don't realize that in Japanese it sounds just as dumb. It's just, since you don't actually hear that, you don't understand the Japanese, you think it sounds cool or you think it makes sense. But when you look at like Japanese in the context of Japanese, it's just as dumb. Before Asian was the name was Assassin. Assassin. Gee, I want. I just prefer whatever you're used to. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. I feel like you know, I feel like both names are good. Like, I make fun of the puns. I do find them silly, even though they're so painful. Oh man, yeah, like Alita Tiala, you mean my dark? She didn't deserve to go to jail. Oh right, her name was Minami. Minami. Right, wasn't like someone named Nami or something like that? I don't remember. Yeah, it's just as dumb. Oh, right. Taki. That was it. There was Taki and Mina. Yeah, people don't often, especially for anime people, they like, they think, oh, there's so much emotion in Japanese subs, and they don't realize that in Japanese it also sounds silly. It's kind of like, I will destroy you. So we're like, it just sounds weird in English. Well, it sounds weird in Japanese too. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be as fun if it wasn't for the silliness. I know that the next Phoenix Wright. Wait, is this the most recent Phoenix Wright game? I think this is the most I didn't play I haven't played the Dual Destinies or the other one. Psychologist comes to town and Maya's old, but she's still an idiot. Those are the two games I haven't played yet. I don't know which one is which. I don't know what they're called, but I know one of them is the psychologist comes to town and old Maya is still dumb. That's what makes the Japanese version better. You want screaming. Not counting the ports? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to go back and play those ones as well. Yeah, but oh, by the way, I know some of you were asking, my recording session went really well. I was a little bit more confident than last time, and the director, he directed me, but I didn't, I was able to take it more as like, oh, he's directing me to find the exact emotion that he thinks matches the scene rather than criticizing me. And so like, yeah, my recording session went really well. We finished in 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is pretty good because I was like, oh, I was efficient. Yeah. You want me to consider the Apollo? Is that called the Apollo trilogy? I guess Apollo would be there. I know that Phoenix Wright eventually goes back to law, but I'm not sure exactly how that happens. Dual Destinies Psychology. Athena. Oh, there's Apollo and Athena. I wonder why she wasn't called Artemis. I guess Athena sounds, maybe flows off the tongue better, because it would be Apollo and Artemis, which would be the brother and the sister of the Greek gods, but whatever. Oh, and also I found out that through the entire game of Apollo Justice, I was hitting on my mom. That was the most painful. Oh my god. It hurt. Take that! It's officially called the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. How unexpectedly. I mean, we did attempt to watch MILF Manor on this channel, so... Even though that stream didn't really work out. But yeah. Yeah, what is it? I'm really looking forward to this. I can't wait to see Iris again. Oh my god, Iris! One random thing from the first one. You can't believe you missed that stream. Yeah, it was a weird stream, that's for sure. I had to restart the stream because TLC literally took my stream down. But yeah, you're just gonna expect the unexpected. Yeah. Oh, one game I wanted to play, I can't wait for this to come out, is what is the game called? The pirate Yakuza game. We're gonna play the heck out of that. Yeah, we need to play. I think visual novels do really well on this channel. Maybe because of my stupid voice stuff. But as you can tell, I'm a professional.
Oh wow! I'm gonna get you, Ryunosuke.
TLC stands for taking lots of kneecaps. Giselle's unique interaction. Shut up! Shut up! It was in cursive because it was British. Yeah, Majima's gonna be out there getting lots of pirate booty, baby. Yeah, apparently we can recruit all the Hawaii people. One thing I do appreciate is that in order to save time, the Yakuza team is very clever. They just pretty much reuse all their city assets. Like, Yokohama pretty much has never changed. I mean, it has changed, but they just replace buildings and they just update the textures and stuff like that. And because of that, they just write really good stories or really compelling stories throughout the entire series, right? And so they created an entire new environment, and now they're just going to reuse it for Majima's game. I think that's really cool because it brings some nostalgia as well. Because man, I remember we were taking down the Mexican gang in Hawaii, and then we're probably going to revisit that area. We'll see how it's changed and see how it's the same. We'll probably go to Anaconda, and I will say, as you guys know, I lived in Hawaii for a little bit. It's like, as someone who has lived in Hawaii for a little bit of time, even if it's not like permanent, wasn't a permanent resident, but I lived there for quite a time. They did a really good job. Creating Honolulu. Like, that was impressive how good it was. You've never played the Yakuza games? Oh, they're such good games because they're like, most people look at Yakuza for the silliness, like the karaoke and Majima going roller skating and like all the insanity, but it's actually a really deep story, and it has a lot of Japanese people have praised it for understanding really well, like the having like a really good and deep understanding of how like the underground markets and like organized crime works, even if it is super silly a lot. You love Pirate's Booty? Oh, Pirate's Booty is good. I haven't had that in a long time. It's like fluffy popcorn and it's virtually no calories. Yeah, I will probably, for those of you who are here for the Gamba, I may consider doing some Gamba when the new character comes out for Zenless Zone Zero. We might have a chat stream that might be like just talking about all the different types of things that are currently going on in the gaming world, and then like during that stream I might do some Gamba, which the Manakyn channel does not promote Gamba. I do this to show you how bad it is. I do drugs so you don't have to. That's my philosophy here. Yeah, but there's still a lot of games that we need to play together. Do you guys like Octopath Traveler? That's a game that I haven't thought about for a while. The important characters were nearly unchanged. I think that's a good thing. Ryunosuke, Susato, Kazuma, maybe? Let me see. I buy and use the Wheel of Fortune in Balatro. Yo, I use the Wheel of Fortune in Balatro for just about every single time I get it. Whenever I get the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, okay, let's see what happens. All you know about Octopath Traveler is that you can't make the text. I mean, they ported it to the PC, right? Maybe you can now. Yeah, it's a game I really wanted to play. I know there's Octopath Traveler 2, which got a fair bit of views on Steam. I don't know, where did Octopath Traveler come out? Octopath Traveler. It wasn't originally on Steam, right? Gregson was unchanged. Well, all of the Herlock Sholmes characters are probably unchanged. Gina would be unchanged because she's based on Detective Lestrade. Or is it Inspector Lestrade? I think it's Inspector. Inspector Lestrade. Gregson is based on Inspector Gregson. I don't remember which formal titles there are. Obviously Wilson is Watson, and Herlock Sholmes is Sherlock Holmes, and who else? Who else? There are quite a few characters that show up. I think Graydon is actually one of them as well. Graydon is a character as well. I think he's based on some character. And then, what is it? The three. What was Moon Man's name? The three. You gotta sleep. Gyarados, yes, the three Gyarados. Yeah, those are actual. Good night, Mama.
Oh, good night, little Kyo. Do you want me to tuck you in? I'll read you a bedtime story. Good night, my sweet little angel.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Kyo. Yeah, the 3 Gyarados. So the Gyarados are actual characters from Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes. So yeah, so there's a lot of characters that they couldn't change because those are actual characters from like Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, but yeah, what was I thinking of? The reason why I wanted to do Octopath, because apparently it was kind of like, it kind of has a feel of, if you guys remember, we played Unicorn Overlord. That wasn't too popular on my channel, although I really liked it. But you know, a lot of it had to do with like, you know, I turned off the voices and just voiced everything myself. Magnus McGilded was Kansi Magundal. Oh, I don't know what that Kosni Magundal. I don't know what that reference is. Must reference something. But yeah, yeah, the reason why I brought up Octopath Traveler, and another one, you know, there's one particular person who's been really pushing me to play Triangle Strategy. Oh, apparently Civ 7 came out. I know there's probably only one person in my chat who plays it. And apparently it hasn't been doing very well. Civilization 7? What's that? I never heard of that. There's a play on words in Japanese with Magundal's name. Yeah, so I'm just looking at Civilization 7. Apparently, yeah, apparently people aren't very happy with it. For Civilization 7, like, you guys know Civilization. It's the frickin' strategy, the grand strategy game of building a world and something like that. Yeah, Civ 7 was apparently people are very dissatisfied with it. So we might chat about this during like a gaming culture thing. You've watched people play it so far, and ew, wait, do you not like it? Yeah, people don't like the fact that, you know, apparently it doesn't run very well. It's not very well optimized. Some people are claiming that the translations were done by AI, so in other words, they don't flow very well. So I'm reading something right here that says the German translation was clearly done by AI, and grammatically it's complete gibberish. You hate the direction they took. Ah, I see. Anything in particular? I know that some people didn't like certain leaders that they chose. Like, they feel like the leaders don't make sense. Like, you know, leaders like Gandhi make sense. Joan of Arc, because, you know, they're like, Joan of Arc was a warrior, kind of. What is it? Gandhi led an entire movement. But then they also included Harriet Tubman, who kind of, I kind of understand why people wouldn't like her as a leader, because it kind of doesn't really make sense thematically. Someone who was, you know, working to undermine slavery at the time, like, she didn't really lead an army or anything. She didn't lead a movement. She was kind of like more of like a, you know, like a person kind of in the shadows being an activist. So I kind of get why people might not like some of the leaders that they chose. Civilization, the leader Civ split. Oh, okay, yeah. So you kind of have an understanding of what I'm talking about. The Gandhi bug exists. It's not a bug, it's a feature. So yeah, now they implement that in every single game. In every single game, Gandhi is super, super peaceful until they hit the nuclear age, and then he becomes a madman. Yeah, but yeah, I hear a lot of what people are saying, what you said. It's like, it's more like humankind. So they're talking about, like, you know, like important figures in history rather than specifically like cultural leaders or military leaders or economic leaders or stuff like that. Like, to me, if you did something like who's the oil magnate? Vanderbilt? Was it Vanderbilt? If you had Vanderbilt, that I could see happening. Like, maybe his power has something to do with making lots of money or like something like that. You can't believe Gandhi is built different. Wait, they don't have Gandhi in the game? There's no way. Gandhi is like, it's like that's the one requirement. See you next time. Thanks so much, Mystery. Thanks for coming. Yeah, so I could see like things like economic leaders or like military leaders, military generals or something like that. If they had people like, you know, Abraham Lincoln, obviously. If they had like, who's a military general? I don't know. Sun Tzu, maybe. You know, he wasn't really a. It's kind of weird with Sun Tzu. Maybe, I don't know. Like the leader turned kind of into a legend. Guan Yu, the Chinese leader. Nobunaga Oda, maybe. Those are military leaders. You can like cultural leaders. Gandhi, definitely. But there are a lot of. I hear what you're saying. There's a lot of people. Eisenhower, maybe. But I hear what you're saying. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, just important, influential people. Like, for example, I don't think Benjamin Franklin would be a very good civilization leader. I would if they put Benjamin Franklin, they should put George Washington. They shouldn't put Benjamin Franklin. Or maybe someone like who was important but probably isn't a leader. How about the Japanese painter Hokusai? He's the one who painted the Great Wave of I forgot what of something. And yeah, so he's really important and really influential in Japanese culture, but he wouldn't lead an army. It just makes no sense. You're gonna get going? Thanks so much for coming, Randy. Franklin started the fire department. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so maybe under George Washington, there would be like a under George Washington, there would be like a special time, a special. Well, he could be one of the historical figures that comes up during the game or something like that. I forgot what they're called. Like, you know how you can recruit some historical figures? He could be like a person like he like works on like public safety or something like that. And by the way, if the great people, yes. And by the way, if Franklin started the fire departments, maybe we should revive him and help him fix up the freaking LA fire department, because God, that was a mess. Yeah, but yeah, I heard people were unhappy with Civilization. The UI is also a disaster. That's too bad, man. Maybe they got complacent. Yeah, but there's so many games that I want to try out. You know, I do want to play Triangle Strategy. It might end up, I really want to play it on stream because I did enjoy playing Fire Emblem on stream. Both Fire Emblems, by the way. Even though I didn't, even though we never finished, what is it? Engagement. In fact, I still need to finish Engage. Triangle Strategy. I do want to play it on stream, but, you know, seeing the direction, like we talked about this, by the way, guys. If you guys remember, we talked about I talked about the article about how there are less and less people interested in strategy games. Strategy games is one of the fastest declining game genres in gaming. Do you know what's growing a lot? Simulation. Things like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley and fortunately or unfortunately, I know a lot of people are getting really fed up with types of, like, you know, simulation games where you just, you know, you build a museum and stuff like that. Thinking is too hard. Thinking is hard. See, I'm one of the types of people who really enjoys, like, putting myself to think about a somewhat irrelevant puzzle. Like, I don't mind doing that. In fact, I enjoy doing that. But I know lots of people who will be like, oh, I don't want to do that. And fair enough. Join the herd of sheeple. Let's actually look this up. What is the most popular gaming genre? Okay. Okay, so this is Statista. So, okay, they're making me turn off my ad block, so screw that. This is Wego Studios, so take this with a grain of salt because I have no idea who this person is. But apparently, first... Oh no, they're just explaining game genres. They're not saying this is the most popular. They're saying first-person shooters. Somehow I don't believe first-person shooters are the most popular, depending on your exact definition of gaming. RPG, it's probably RPG. It is probably RPG. Like, if you look at, like, a game like, for example, Fire Emblem, right? People loved, Fire Emblem Three Houses. In fact, many people love Fire Emblem Three Houses in terms of strategy and stuff. But a lot of the strategy gamers were dissatisfied because they felt like it was a bit too much of a push for, you know, the housing and character, companionship quests. And, you know, I like that to an extent. And I also understand how that probably drew in a lot of people. There were, I'll give you a basic example. This is something that I found at some point. A lot of the HoloLive girls played Fire Emblem on, like, the easy difficulty, and all their clips are of them flirting with characters in support conversations. All the people that found that watched them found the most interesting parts were flirting with others in the support conversations, not like an epic 20% hit in order to save a character or something like that. No, it was oh, she's flirting with the girl even though she's a girl. Oh my god, there's some Yuri going on in here. It was like yeah, so I can totally see why a lot of, you know, strategy games are kind of almost sacrificing certain parts of the strategy in order to appeal to a wider audience. And, you know, the people who are in the strategy, they're kind of accepting defeat, which is sad. Divine Pulses should not have been a thing in maddening. Well, depends on how you look at it. I think maddening is balanced around Divine Pulses. Like, at least blind maddening. Once you're, like, played maddening 3-4 times, you shouldn't need Divine Pulses. But, yeah, I think, you know, blind maddening is kind of balanced around Divine Pulses. Because, you know, you don't realize that there's a spawn that's coming to kill you. Yeah, but that's just how I see it. 9 chances to rank crits. See? No. See? You're using Divine Pulses like someone who understands strategy games. The common man will say like, I'm smart, I can play maddening, and then they get destroyed and they're like, what the frick, this game is cheating. The only reason I lost was due to bad luck. And so they give you your Divine Pulses to make you feel smart so people don't rage quit the game. See, you're thinking like a smart person. Oh, I can use the Divine Pulses proactively. But they're thinking like I'm smart, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I remember when we were playing, what was it? Engage. And then I first got the turn back time thing. I was like, you get 10 instantly? Yeah, but yeah, that was some interesting times. I also turned John into an armored knight. I thought it was so cool turning Anna into a mage. Oh, this is gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so anti-meta. It turns out that's the meta. Yeah, but you know, there are lots of games. I really want to play The Witcher, by the way. Some people say like The Witcher is actually really cool because like you actually have to like study your enemies before you fight them at the hardest difficulty. Like if you play at a hard difficulty, you'll get destroyed a lot. So you have to like, you know, actually spend time scouting out the enemies. And I don't know, maybe people might find that boring, but for me, information gathering is fun. But then maybe people would click off the screen. They're like, this is so boring, man. Just go kill it. Ever since Turnwheel. Look, Look, listen here, you smart person. I mean, to be fair, the way I see all games is that almost every single gamer is a casual gamer. And unfortunately, because there are more casual gamers than there are hardcore gamers, even though hardcore gamers will be willing to spend more money, just the mass amounts of casual gamers, you want to appeal to them. So you will have to sacrifice your fan base. It's one of the reasons why, you know, I really respect games that adhere to their core principles, even if their market is very niche. Interestingly enough, a game like Baldur's Gate adhered to its very core principles and gained massive amounts of popularity. And that was really interesting to me because when I know Divinity Original Sin 2 was Larian's previous game, and I loved that game. It also had strategy elements, but it was functionally a top-down CRPG. But hold on, let me look up Divinity Original Sin. Yeah, Divinity Original Sin 2. It's a massive game, and it has on Steam it has 163,000 reviews that are overwhelmingly positive, but everyone I know doesn't know what it is because CRPGs are such a niche market that even when so many people like it, a lot of people don't even know what it is, right? What are the games that casual players know about? Call of Duty, Halo, Mario, Legend of Zelda, Kirby. It's like most games that I love, most people have never even heard of. So it's like, if you want to make it, like we were talking about Octopath Traveler, right? Octopath Traveler is a very popular game in RPGs. Apparently lots of people really like it. And yet there's still so many people, even in the RPG space, who don't know it. So it's like that kind of thing. Yeah, so unfortunately, the market is always tough, right? You can make a brilliant game, but sometimes people just don't even know about it. And sometimes it just comes down to bad timing. Yeah, Breath of the Wild definitely blew up because of how it deviated from the old Zeldas. But what definitely helped it was kind of this adherence to kind of like more open world choice storytelling. Obviously, they put a lot of work into the open world, into like the things that you see and the things that you experience. I think, however, you know, that was kind of an era where storytelling kind of took an interesting turn. Like storytelling took an interesting turn, and Nintendo kind of took a advantage of it. And I'm thinking of this on the fly as well. But you know, one of the things that a lot of people I've noticed really like is making conjecture about the story of Breath of the Wild and eventually Tears of the Kingdom. A lot of people really liked the conjecture of that, so they could make up their own headcanons and stuff. And you know, eventually we got into a place where, you know, people are now in like 2024, people are arguing that, you know, if two characters aren't gay, they'll start a riot on Twitter. It's like, what do you mean she's not attracted to this other girl? Oh, I'm gonna dox you because you think she's straight or something like that, right? So, you know, the kind of like the open level of storytelling gave people free reign to do pretty much whatever they wanted. And it's like, I can guarantee you that there are a million fan theories are Danganronpa fans. Yeah, so, you know, if you notice, there are a lot of storytelling that has started to take this more open-ended approach. They don't actually explain anything. Like, all of the Dark Souls games do that nowadays. Even though I've never played anyone. Okay, well, I did play Sekiro, but I don't think that really counts as a Dark Souls game. Same company, I suppose. But yeah, if you'll notice, a lot of stories don't want to tell stories anymore. They want to hint at stories because they don't want to, like, turn off their, you know, turn off their fan base and then just let the fans argue amongst themselves. The main appeal for Baldur's is wanting to play D&D and having no friends to play it. That hits too hard, man. Why do you have to say that? Ow. You know, if you like Baldur's Gate, you'll love Divinity: Original Sin. It's a different game system, so you're not rolling dice as much. Well, you don't have like you have like spell cooldowns. You don't have like spell having to take long rests and short rests to replenish your spells. I personally like the Divinity: Original Sin combat system more than the Baldur's Gate Dungeons and Dragons combat system. I feel like Dungeons and Dragons is really hard to implement in like a practical like computer way. And while I do acknowledge that they did a pretty good job trying to, you know, capture all different types of ideas, but you know, you can't do everything. Whereas I feel like Divinity: Original Sin actually, you know, played like a game, where it's like it acknowledged the fact that it was a game, so it didn't try to adhere to things that it was simply impossible to do. So if you liked Baldur's Gate, you'll really like Divinity: Original Sin. You're halfway through the final act. Is the final act the big city, or the final act like there are two final acts? Are you facing down the remaining two tyrants, I think? Is that right? I'm trying not to spoil or anything. Are you facing down the remaining two tyrants, or what are you doing right now? I'm not gonna answer the question. Big city. You haven't fought Big Elder yet. You need to meet the anime man. Yeah. Who did I choose? Right, I just created a custom character. I didn't choose the Dark Urge. Everyone chooses Dark Urge. I chose I just made a gnome. I made a gnome bard because of course I did. I got like most of the way through it, and I did end up watching the rest of it because my friend was playing through it, and she really just wanted me to hang out with her while I watched it. I was like, oh yeah, sure. You're playing a ranger tiefling. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I will say one thing I really like about Divinity: Original Sin is there are no classes, right? Everything is like a branch. Everything is like a skill tree. So you can put like 7 points into ranger and then 3 points into warlock. So it's kind of like you can multi-class in Dungeons and Dragons, except it's a little bit more fluid. It's a little bit more of a natural way of multi-classing because the game actively encourages multi-classing. In Divinity, it's like the game actively encourages you to like, okay, you can mix the fire's tree with the earth tree, and so you can place oil on the ground and then explode it with fire. It's like it actively encourages that. So if you like that, if you like this game, you'll really like Divinity. So I encourage you to try it. And you don't have to do combat either, right? Because you can spend a lot of your points on like environmental interaction. I'm always the person who maxes out my charisma and dumps out my my strength. No, I usually max charisma, dump intelligence. I just want to be really charming but really dumb. So yeah, so like you don't even have to put it all in that type of thing. Like, so I put a lot of points in like I think making illusions so I can sneak around, or like I think I put a few points in like I was a very, very tricky type of person. So like I put some points in jumping really high so I can just jump to places that other people couldn't, and that type of thing. And I like put some points in talking to animals and that type of thing, which is what is it? Animal I forgot what the spell is called in D&D. Animal something. You lie to people? Well, I always just do whatever I feel like, so sometimes I tell the truth. I just like to cause chaos, really. And one thing I do appreciate of Baldur's Gate is that they don't guardrail you based on morals, if that makes sense. If you want to kill this guy, you can kill him, right? It's not like you can't kill this person because it's an innocent person and you shouldn't do that because shame on you. It's like, no, if you want to kill him, go for it. Yeah, sure. you might destroy one of your quests. And that's something that did happen to me at some point. I think I accidentally killed someone in a fight that was actually a really important quest, but so I never actually completed that quest. And it's something to do with, like, you know, unlocking undead powers. Oops. But I wasn't a mage anyway, so I was a bard. Well, bards are kind of mages, but whatever. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, I've chatted with you guys for a while. I'm really glad I could, but you know, I better get going because I have to eat dinner. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, by the way, though. I'm probably just gonna get a sandwich and like a burger and a milkshake today. I feel like I can treat myself. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. We're gonna play more tomorrow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. If you have any quests for me, I'll see you all next time.